here.
Meyer says he supports the new development.
And this is at a point now, I think, for the city of Alpharetta to really do something that's incredible.
Besides the chance at a hockey team, the project will bring nearly 1,300 apartments, bring parks, offices, much like the Battery in Cobb County. Now, the developer says they'll invest $15 billion into the project, and it should generate nearly $30 million a year in taxes. Keith Cromwell, 95.5 WSB.
But the project not a done deal. It can only move forward if the NHL picks Alpharetta for the site of a new franchise that would play at the arena there. The same company behind the project previously helped build Pond City Market and the Avalon in Alpharetta. It is currently 74 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says we'll see more sunshine today, high in the mid-90s, but with lower humidity. That changes starting tomorrow. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Our other overnight development, an open letter from the family of the man charged with a fatal weekend stabbing along the Atlanta Beltline. It apologizes for the attack, which was caught on video. It says Jonathan Hamby has dealt with a severe mental illness for years, but the court system has ignored the family's pleas for help. It urges state lawmakers to pass legislation, making it easier to establish a safety plan to keep the public safe from the mentally ill. Hamby had dozens of arrests on his record before the fatal stabbing of Ramon Harris. Voters in Georgia's 13th congressional district are heading to the polls today to elect a new representative.
The special election will determine who will fill late Congressman David Scott's seat through the end of the year. Scott's daughter, Marcy Scott, is the front runner against former Gwinnett County School Board Chairman Everton Blair Jr. Marcy Scott hopes to close out her father's term, who served as the U.S. representative from 2003 until his death this April. Lilburn resident Blair Jr. is campaigning on his previous experience as an elected official in Gwinnett County. Residents have until 7 p.m. tonight to cast their vote. Jordan Brown, 95.5 WSB.
Boy, the trade war continues to brew between the U.S. and Canada, which is expected to announce today its plans for retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. Comes after the White House implemented new 50% tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Canadian imports, after President Trump threatened to expand those duties to include car parts and steel from Canada.
Canada responding, vowing to impose a dollar-for-dollar tariff on their own. The president brushing that off, writing on social media, "We don't need Canada, they need us."
Now, the president even threatens this morning to change the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America. Canada says its new tariffs would take effect next month. Crime is down across the city of Atlanta. That's according to new numbers from Atlanta Police, which note a 13% drop in the past year for overall crime. Deputy Chief Jessica Bruce said more help's on the way.
We also have graduation for Class 297, which is this Friday, which is an additional 23 officers that have already hit the street last week. As we build back the department, you'll see 168 recruits that I currently have in training.
And about 45 would-be officers waiting for the next training session to begin. One city councilman says he's noticed a big drop in crime and increased police presence at gas stations, which can often become crime scenes around the city. It's 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start on the roads in the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Smile Mark McKay.
Investigation in Woodstock into a crash involving a school bus still underway. 2 hours now on the clock, and Woodstock. This is where you do not need to be. You do not need to be anywhere near the intersection of Highway 5 and Highway 92, seeing especially eastbound delays heavy, leaving I-575 trying to get through the Main Street exit as police still do their work. So take Arnold Mill Road to the north, or you can use Jamerson Road to the south to avoid that intersection. Hefty delays through Marietta on I-75, leaving the North Loop down to I-285, and especially slow inside the perimeter. 75 from Moores Mill Road, 400 leaving Buckett, 85 out of Brookhaven. Connector northbound, no better, leaving Langford Parkway up to John Lewis Freedom Parkway. The slow spots on 285, Ashley Frasca.
Just spotted a two-car crash in the center lane, 285 northbound, leaving Hollowell Parkway, slow behind that, and then it crowds in before South Atlanta Road for the ride in and out of the Cobb Cloverleaf with I-75. You're on and off the brakes beginning before Covington Highway on the east side, 285 north, headed into Doraville. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly sunny and dry today with a high of 95. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with increasing humidity levels and an isolated rain shower possible, high 92. Mostly cloudy on Thursday with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms.
70 degrees in Cummings, 73 in Noonan, 75 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
good Tuesday morning, friends. Very exciting edition of the Mark Arum Show. A lot of stuff to cover over the next 3 hours. Supreme Court kind of weighs in on mail-in ballots. We'll go to D.C. and get the latest on that, what SCOTUS had to say about mail-in ballots as we are now 70, 69, nice days until the midterms. I'm not sure. We are going to go in depth on this back and forth, punch after punch of this U.S.-Canadian trade war and how it is going to impact us if it actually becomes a trade war. I'm still dubious. I still think there's time to negotiate it with our little brothers to the north. And I saw you chuckle, Deborah, before the show. President Trump says he wants to rename Lake Ontario Lake America.
Lake America.
Yeah, Lake America. So a lot of rhetoric. We'll see if this actually comes to fruition. We're going to go in depth. More data center stories here in the state of Georgia. 11 o'clock hour, we're going to talk to Adam Van Brenner from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Maybe not a done deal, that $2 billion or $20 billion project in Effingham County. Apparently now some pushback from the Georgia coast. Most importantly, probably, well, for me anyway, we're going to give away $1,000 today. Grand for Groceries promotion continues in the 10 o'clock hour. I'm going to try to maneuver in. We've got a bunch of guests in the 10 o'clock hour, but I'd say around 10:10 a.m. I'm going to give you a keyword, and you enter that keyword in the WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/groceries, and you can win a Grand for Groceries. We're also giving away tickets to Alabama. 10:37, your chance to win. I grew up, I know it's crazy to think, but I grew up listening to Alabama in Connecticut. Like, this is...
They were huge in the 80s.
Absolutely. Big Southern rock there. So you're going to get a chance to win tickets to see Alabama coming up at 11:37 of the Mark Arum Show. Let us start, though, with what was supposed to be yesterday. It happened after the show, of course. We heard from the Treasury Secretary about Economic D-Day, covering the story, and joining us from ABC News, it's White House correspondent Karen Travers. Economic D-Day, or was it more of a plan for a future economic D-Day that we heard yesterday?
It was really the threat of a future economic D-Day, and that's something significant still, but it wasn't necessarily what the administration had been promising, hyping, and kind of teeing up since last week when the president first promised this was coming. Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent yesterday was expected to unveil a range of sanctions against Iranian trade partners, businesses, entities that work with Iran to help them evade sanctions and do business with them to kind of keep their economy going. But instead, he didn't name specific countries. He didn't name China in his prepared remarks, and China is Iran's top trade partner. He also didn't give a timeline for countries, entities to comply with this pressure. He was asked why not impose sanctions today, and Bessent said, well, we are giving everyone the opportunity to remedy bad behavior. So I think the bottom line is, D-Day, it wasn't, but it was a warning, and he acknowledged that himself. It was a warning from the administration that, bad behavior has to change, or else the administration would be coming for businesses and eventually countries. But again, there was no public deadline for when these countries should act. They said that the president is engaging with world leaders, and Bessent referred to this as quiet diplomacy and level setting with countries to tell them U.S. expectations.
Yeah, that was my next question. If the secretary set out a timeline at all of when these partners needed to get right before the D-Day would hit.
No, and that's the big question now. When would the administration follow through with these threats, if they follow through with the threats, and how far are they willing to go with China specifically? China is the largest buyer of Iranian oil. They are the biggest trading partner for Iran. They also have a financial system that can make it pretty insulated from threats of U.S. sanctions. The other big part of this is just the dynamic of the relationship between the president and China's President Xi. He's coming to the White House next month. It was exactly 1 month from yesterday in a visit that the president keeps touting. It's a reciprocal visit for when the president went to China earlier this year. So given that, and given the fragile trade truce right now with China, it's just hard to see from the diplomatic perspective how in the next 4 weeks they would suddenly, pivot and go very hard on China But experts we've talked to say, the most straightforward path to put the most severe economic pressure on Iran would, of course, be targeting China because that's their biggest trade partner.
Karen Travers from ABC News joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. And obviously the administration choosing this economic route as opposed to a military route. But the economic pain won't be felt yet, and we don't know when this will start. So does this just give the Iranians, the Americans, and the moderators, the negotiators, some chance to get back to the table?
There's no indication that that's happening anytime soon. The rhetoric coming from Iran in the last handful of days and weeks has just been, almost taunting the administration. Iran's top negotiator said yesterday that the U.S. is not in an economic position to further restrict its relations with other countries, essentially saying, go ahead and try to do this. They've also, pointed out that the U.S. has its own economic challenges with inflation and other issues here in the U.S. and, kind of brushing it off, which is a notable strategy. But as you pointed out, there also haven't been military strikes this entire month. The president does seem to be shifting away from that after how much we saw in July, that, kind of fever pitch of 13 nights of consecutive strikes. But this has been the strategy now to put economic pressure on Iran.
Karen, I was watching the press conference live yesterday. The secretary took very few questions after it. And you mentioned China as, the big elephant in the room that was not named. But other countries might be India. Do we know any other nations that might feel the pressure of this eventual economic D-Day?
I mean, there was nobody mentioned specifically yesterday, and I think that was notable. He did say that, some of this may have worked with the United Arab Emirates, saying that they were going to cut off trade and limit their economic relationship with Iran because of the type of diplomacy the administration has been doing. But in terms of the punishment, we just didn't see that laid out specifically yesterday.
Still more questions. Karen Travers, ABC News. Karen, appreciate your time as always.
Have a great day.
So I was watching the press conference yesterday with the Secretary Bessent. And he took 4 or 5 questions after, when there's a million questions that need to be answered. But the biggest takeaway for me, living in Atlanta, was the name of the operation, Deborah. So he's pitching it as Economic D-Day, but the operation's name is
Operation Outcast.
Which to me, I was like, oh, Outcast.
It's the first thing I thought of too.
So I would imagine Andre and Big Boy's phones were blowing up yesterday during that press conference. They just named the Operation Outcast.
I literally thought, I'm like, oh my God, is there a new album? What's happening?
So that's what my hope is. I'm kidding, but the fact that he has, they've named this, and I don't know who came up with the name, probably Hegseth, Secretary Hegseth, but maybe this inspires Outkast to release a new album called Operation Outcast. I want to put that in the ether, make it happen. I saw an interview with Andre 3000, and he's like, it's tough to write songs when he's my age. Because
how his life has changed. Yes.
When you're younger and you're struggling and you're dealing with all those emotions, that's when the best songs are written. When you're middle-aged like Andre and I are, it's tough to, come up with those emotional lyrics. But I'm all on board for Operation Outcast. Now, relatedly to the Iran war, and we haven't seen any military activity, knock on wood, in quite a while. This is supposed to turn up the economic heat on Iran. There was a video on Iran state television, like a 2 or 3 minute video, that was basically offering a $10 million bounty on Barron Trump, the 20-year-old son of President Trump. And in this video, I don't have the video and it's not in English, so it would be useless to play. This video on Iranian state TV basically said, here's where he hangs out. He hangs out at Trump Tower in New York City. He goes to this business school at NYU. Unbelievable. We know they've been going after President Trump since before he was president, going back to his first administration. Elena Trine at the White House with reaction to this, $10 million bounty on the president's son.
Yeah, look, obviously very concerning. Any threats to the president or his family taken very seriously by Secret Service. You read that statement from them. Laying that out, I should note, we also reached out to the White House for a comment about this and have not yet gotten a response. But look, hardline Iranian media has repeatedly featured these types of threats or putting out bounties on different Trump family members in the past. And we've seen this. Typically, it's on President Donald Trump himself. We've seen it in the past as well for the First Lady, Melania Trump. But this appears to be the first time that they are specifically singling out the president's youngest son, Barron Trump, on this. I remind people as well that Barron Trump lives a very private life, considering, a lot of his elder siblings, a lot of the older Trump children are far more in the spotlight. The president and the First Lady have done a lot to try and shield him from that. But what we are seeing, and I'm going to walk you through exactly what some of this video showed, is that they have been tracking some of his movements. It's a nearly 3-minute video that was aired by IRIB, a state media outlet considered to be aligned with the hardliners in the Iranian regime. And it begins with an English language graphic reading, "Where to Kill Barron Trump." It also features stylized graphics showing locations where Barron Trump has been known to spend time, places like Trump Tower in New York. Barron also attends NYU. He goes to their business school, so is often in New York. So just keeping that all in mind. As you mentioned, toward the end of the video, the narrator suggested people were, quote, eagerly waiting to receive our $10 million award. So I think very concerning indeed, particularly as you look at the reaction we've seen this administration take in the past to threats like this. The most recent, of course, that we've covered extensively is what happened around the NATO summit in Turkey in July when there was an Iranian threat about a potential hit on the president, potential assassination attempt on the president's life through a shoulder-fired missile. That's what actually had them scramble to get the president on a separate plane to fly back. So I think Secret Service, other investigators definitely looking into this. But it does track with what we know this law enforcement source told CNN about this campaign really targeting different members, high-profile people in the president's family and inner orbit. So a lot to keep our eye on as we move ahead into this investigation.
All right, so absolutely horrible, right, that there's a bounty on Barron Trump. But not surprising, not shocking, it's Iran. And we literally assassinated the top 3 layers of their regime on February 28th. Like, we targeted specific people. The supreme leader, the second in command, the third in command. I don't know if we targeted... Obviously, we didn't target his son because his son is now taking over. But, it's horrible that they're putting a bounty on Barron Trump. And obviously, Secret Service is going to be locking him down. But I'm not surprised they're doing that. Absolutely not surprised they're doing that. What does Melania think? Like, she loves Barron with all her heart, all her might. Knowing that Barron Trump has a $10 million bounty on his head from Iran... As his mom, does she let him leave the house at all? Does she, hey, you're not going to school anymore. You're doing your stuff digitally or virtually. You're not leaving. And we're sending you to Vermont. We're getting you out of this. As a parent, that's what I would do. If my kid had a $10 million bounty on him, you're going to WITSEC, witness protection. You're gonna be in a raised ranch in Bismarck, North Dakota, off the radar. You're not getting online and taking away your phone. There was a $10 million bounty on Vinny's head. We met his parents.
The aunties, yep.
Yeah, they're not letting me the house. I would not be surprised if Barron just goes off the grid. That's what I would do if I was his dad. Crazy stuff. 9:19 on the Mark Arum Show. Flock camera policy, a Georgia County Police Department making a change to their flock camera policy. We'll update that after we check the ride around town at 9:19. Hello and good morning to Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Watching for new trouble on the north side perimeter as you leave Sandy Springs, trying to get to Marietta on 225 westbound the outer loop, right at Riverside Drive, exit 24. At least one lane blocked and delays quickly forming now as you leave Roswell Road in Sandy Springs, so be aware of that. Also be aware of the delays that continue in Woodstock after a crash investigation appears to be in the clearing stages was a school bus involved in a passenger van. They have towed away the school bus and currently trying to load up the van onto the back of a tow truck and clear this. But Highway 92 at Main Street all jammed up in the Woodstock area. Wide alternates around that, of course, is going to be 575 to avoid the delays of Highway 5, Bells Ferry Road, Trickham Road. Also a couple options for you as well. This report is brought to you by National Heritage Academies. The National Heritage Academies, their moral-focused program builds values like compassion and respect into their challenging academic curriculum. NHA, find a tuition-free K-12 school today. From the Lao Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Grocery prices keep going up.
But WSB's Grand for Groceries will help.
Could really use the drive out now.
5 chances a day to win $5,000.
Oh, no!
Your next chance to win is coming up at 10.
WSB's Grand for Groceries.
From 95.5 WSB.
Hey, y'all, it's Belinda Skelton, and I've got Deborah Barron from Four Seasons Home Care with me. And Deborah, I get so many calls from listeners who feel guilty. They're asking, am I a bad daughter if I don't take care of my mom myself? How do you address that with families?
Oh, Belinda, we hear this all the time, and it breaks my heart. You are not a bad daughter or son for getting professional help. In fact, you're being a great child by recognizing what your parent truly needs. Most of us aren't trained in elder care, medication management, or mobility assistance. What we see is that when families bring in professional caregivers, the adult children can go back to being the daughter or son. Not the nurse, not the cook, not the aide. You have that quality time with your parent, and that's what they really want.
That is such an important point. What about parents who really resist? I hear from folks saying, my dad refuses to have a stranger in the house.
Yep, that's very common, especially at first. What we found is that resistance usually comes from fear of losing independence or privacy. So we start slowly, maybe just part-time with someone who can be a companion as much as a caregiver. Often it's conveyed as someone to help with the cleaning or a driving assistant. And then once your parent realizes that this person is there to help them stay independent, not take over their life, the resistance usually melts away. We've had so many families tell us, Dad really looks forward to Marie coming now.
Oh, I love that. What services do your caregivers provide? I think some people don't realize everything that's available.
Great question. Our caregivers can help with all personal care needs, whatever would help your parents stay safe and comfortable at home.
Folks, if your aging parents want to stay in their own home, or if you're struggling with the guilt about not doing it all yourself, call Four Seasons Home Care. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta and request a free consultation. Find out how professional care can actually strengthen your relationship with your parents. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
We are here with the CFP and investment advisor Aaron Vincent of the Vincent Financial Group and co-host of Retire ATL right here every weekend. And Aaron, the headlines are heavy. There's a lot of noise in our face right now. Where can an adult turn to if they need some clarity or information about their financial future? How can they reach out to you?
You can either call or text this number. It's 770-741-0120. We can explain our process to you, when you make that phone call and kind of we can talk about where you're at in your life and your process. The idea, though, is that we get to have an initial conversation. It's not like bring all of your statements and have everything buttoned up and show us your spreadsheet. And in that first conversation, it may be just a quick phone call so that we can, answer a couple of questions for you and you can feel us out if you want to actually go through our process. A good middle ground way to do this is to text seminar. Text the word seminar to 770-741-0120. We actually do these educational workshops all around Atlanta. We've got a bunch of them coming up here soon. And it's a good way to come talk to us, learn some of the educational stuff that we kind of the processes by which we work and how we work through some of these questions and issues. And I think it's just a good way to get to know us a little bit.
If you're ready to get serious about your financial future or you just have a question, where am I? We invite you to call the team at the Vincent Financial Group. That initial consultation, no cost, no obligation. 770-741-0120. Maybe you're looking for some more information about their upcoming complimentary educational workshops. You can text the word seminar to the same number, and a team member from the Vincent Financial Group will be in touch. 770-741-0120. And we invite you to join us every Sunday right here for Retire ATL, all powered by the Vincent Financial Group. And get more information at retireatlradio.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Big home improvement decisions are so much easier when you can see it for yourself first.
You're invited to experience window and door shopping made simple in our beautiful showroom.
It's Jonathan and Ted from NG Windows. Bring your window and door project to life.
We'll make it simple, informative, even fun while getting to know your needs.
Experience the Infinity by Marvin fiberglass difference in our Alpharetta showroom.
Infinity by Marvin from NG Windows, yeah!
Don't tell my heart, my breaking heart. I just don't think you'd understand.
9:25 on the Mark Arum Show. Happy 65th, Billy Ray Cyrus. Is he just, has his daughter surpassed him as far as fame is concerned? Is he
Probably.
just Miley's dad now?
Yeah,
Yes.
but he is dating Elizabeth Hurley.
Really?
Right?
That's a couple I didn't expect.
Not at all.
The last time I was that shocked by a couple was when Judd introduced me to his girlfriend Jessica back in the day. I was like, no, that can't be. That can't be Judd. You remember my jaw dropped, Judd? I was like, no, was that your cousin?
He did it right in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I was like, Judd's like, company Christmas party. He's like, this is Jessica.
It's got to be a mistake.
Yeah. I was like, is that your cousin? You needed a date? Anyway, how many years you guys been married now?
I don't even remember. 14?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Like that.
Great
Yeah.
wedding. I did tequila shots. Actually, that was the last time I did tequila. Tequila shot off an ice sculpture with a priest.
Father Mario.
Father Mario
Yep.
and I, yeah. That's the amount of love I have for the Hickenbockums. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. All right, we made it 27 minutes into the show before we talked about flock cameras. Habersham County, one of my favorite counties, they have a new flock policy, Deborah. What can you tell us?
Well, it looks like Habersham County is going to have to make some changes in who can access those flock cameras, because it seems like there's another story about a deputy misusing the flock cameras, trying to trace an X again. So now they're going to have it where every time you log in, you're going to have to log in. What's the purpose before you can actually just access the cameras?
I mean, it's got to stop. Like now people that all of these law enforcement officials are getting busted stalking exes. Like it has to stop now. You're going to get caught, right? No one after August 25th is going to use those flock cameras to stalk their exes. Just do what the rest of us do. Stalk them on Facebook and Instagram or whatever. Unbelievable. I'm drawing a line in the sand. August 25th. No more stalking exes with the flock cameras. You know you're going to get caught, especially now in Habersham County where they're doing additional protocols. Judd, the aforementioned Judd, has your news, weather, and traffic in 2. When we come back, up to date our top local stories, including the future of North Point Mall in Alpharetta. That's next on the Mark Arum Show.
Atlanta's favorite jewelry special is back at D. Geller & Son Jewelers. It's Katie Kiley, and for the entire month of August, you can take advantage of 0% APR financing for 5 years. That's 60 equal payments with no interest on the pieces they'll treasure forever. Maybe you're planning a fall proposal? 5 years with 0% APR means more flexibility to choose the ring she really wants, whether that's a bigger, brighter diamond or a timeless custom setting. And if an anniversary's coming up, D. Geller & Son has a showstopper, a stunning 5-carat total weight tennis bracelet for under $100 a month. With 5 years to pay and no interest, it's never been easier to celebrate life's biggest moments. Shop all month long at D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw or Sandy Springs, or online at dgeller.com. D. Geller & Son, Atlanta's most trusted jeweler and where Atlanta gets engaged since 1939.
At Choice Men's Health, patients are experiencing positive results for treatment of ED and performance issues in the bedroom. Here's Bill's story.
I'm a 60-year-old man who moved to the area recently. I suffer from diabetes and I'm taking heart medication. Unfortunately, one of the symptoms I've experienced for the past 5 years is ED, which has had a major impact on the intimacy my wife and I have always enjoyed. I've tried all the pills, and like a lot of people with diabetes, they just weren't effective. My wife heard a commercial on this radio station, and she made an appointment for me with Choice Men's Health. I was blown away by how effective it was. My marriage has never been better. I truly believe it made all the difference. I'm grateful for my wife for making the appointment, and I highly recommend you go see Choice Men's Health and get back in the game.
Call Choice Men's Health at 404-400-1170. They guarantee results in the first visit, or the exam is free. Call for your appointment today. Choice Men's Health, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Dr. Roof. Our top story, the family of the suspect charged in that recent deadly stabbing in broad daylight on the Atlanta Beltline releases an open letter faulting a broken system.
The lengthy statement from the family of 54-year-old Jonathan Hamby directly apologizes to loved ones of 29-year-old Ramon Harris. Harris and Hamby reportedly got into an argument on an extremely busy section of the Beltline not far from Ponce City Market. That's when Atlanta police say Hamby stabbed Harris in the neck, killing him. Hamby's family says the man has a severe mental illness, causing him to think he's under constant attack. The family argues Hamby, who has over 30 previous arrests, shouldn't have ever been allowed on the streets, saying this is part of a broader systemic failure. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
It's 75 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says should enjoy some lower humidity today under sunny skies. The high, though, getting back into the mid-90s. That humidity creeping back in tomorrow. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. The investigation continues this morning following a serious crash involving a school bus in Cherokee County. It happened at the intersection of Highway 92 and Main Street when a van hit the back of that bus carrying students from Woodstock Elementary. In a letter to parents, the principal says all 20 students on the bus are safe, along with the bus driver. An extra nurse and counselors are being made available at the school today to support students. Lego rejects an artificial intelligence for its creative work. Instead, toy maker betting on human creativity to keep its revenues going.
The CEO of the company, known for its iconic building sets, says Lego is still embracing AI in other areas of work, such as administrative and standardized tasks. The approach is working. Lego just reported record sales and profits for the first half of the year.
Yeah, Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti reports Lego's total revenue surged 21% to more than triple that of rivals Hasbro and Mattel. Ongoing tensions and the conflict in the Middle East this morning. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent threatening new sanctions on countries that aid Iran's government or military.
The Treasury Department had announced that countries will be given a timeline, a defined timeline, to shut down Iran-related activity that the administration has identified and said if they fail to act, Treasury will act.
But correspondent Karen Travers says the White House has not given specifics about those new penalties. And the SEC in the middle of the latest debate in the world of college football. We're just weeks away from opening kickoff. A pair of NFL players decide to leave the pros to go back to college.
It comes after the NCAA recently changed its rules to allow athletes 5 years to play. The rule change wasn't supposed to take effect until next season, but that sparked a legal battle.
Hannah Batal reports both of the players that challenged the rule would head to LSU to play for Lane Kiffin, including a tight end who was actually on the sideline for a preseason game with the Browns over the weekend. The SEC releasing a statement, though, saying players who choose to sign professional contracts should not be allowed to play in college once again. It's 9:33 as we check your money. Great start on Wall Street this morning. The S&P is up almost 30 points. NASDAQ is up more than 200. And the Dow is up more than 200 as well. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. Starting the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Mike Shields.
And Joe, I've been watching a crash outbound in Sandy Springs, 285 westbound, the outer loop getting past Riverside Drive, exit 24. That's in a right lane, but that's enough to slow you back 3 miles starting at Georgia 400. Looking for new trouble on the east side perimeter with a hang up on 285 northbound, the outer loop before Shanley Tucker Road, exit 34. The delays continue as you leave Clarkson through Tucker, trying to get up to I-85. And delays in DeKalb with daily roadwork setting up. I-20 eastbound as you get past Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. Delays right now as you leave I-285. From the Lao Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Sunny skies and hot today with a high of 95. Lows tonight cooling to the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow, increasing humidity levels, partly cloudy with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible, high 92. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms on Thursday, highs in the upper 80s.
It is currently 72 degrees in Lithia Springs, 74 in Auburn, Georgia, 76 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10, breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
You can count on it.
Can try and plan for it.
But sometimes it gets the best of you.
Multiple left lanes blocked, quickly impacting you as you leave the airport.
When it stops you from getting where you need to be.
Atlanta's most trusted traffic team gets you there.
Now we've got our second crash of the morning on I-85.
The most up-to-date traffic reports from Atlanta's most trusted traffic team.
Only a right lane open.
Every time you listen. Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
This fall,
we will begin intense discussions with the European Union. The world's
That's Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney still to come. We'll update the tariff battle between the U.S. and Canada. But coming up next, maybe some clarification on the future of North Point Mall. Live in depth in 2 minutes on The Mark Arum Show.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims. And in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The wait is over. AC/DC's back live Power Up Tour this Thursday night. Mercedes-Benz Stadium with the Pretty Reckless. Don't wait. Buy your ticket right now. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. August 27th, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Don't miss AC/DC.
Oh, yeah. Summer's a time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or your tan. Hey guys, it's Mark Arum here. I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. There's absolutely no one in hair restoration I trust more than Advanced Hair. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair summer sales event on for a limited time, so get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 470-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and take advantage of their best offer ever. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. When you receive a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
9:37 on the Mark Arum Show. When was the last time you heard this song? Baby, do the locomotion. 1962 on this date. The Locomotion by Little Eva. Little Ava peaked at number 1 on the pop chart. I remember definitely riding around the backseat of my parents' car. They would always listen to oldies and this song in it, and we'd all sing along to it. But ironically, back in the late 70s, A, no one in the car was wearing a seatbelt. And B, husky 5-6-year-old Mark Arum, not in a car seat, not sitting on the seat in the back, the lay flat seat. What were those things called? It wasn't bucket seats, but it was like a couch,
a bench seat.
Yeah, bench seat. I would stand up and hover between my parents, my dad driving, my mom the passenger seat, and just put my fat chin on the holder, and just so I could hear what they were talking about, and no one thought anything of it. No seat, no seatbelt, no car seat. Me standing up in the car, leaning forward so I can hear what my parents were saying.
You turned out fine.
Miraculously. Can you imagine? You stop short and you got a husky little Hebrew going through the front windshield like that. It's a miracle I survived the 70s. You're lucky, Vin. You're very lucky. A reminder, you could be lucky and win a grand for groceries coming up around 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to give you a keyword. You enter that keyword into the WSB Radio app or online at wsbradio.com/groceries, and you can win a grand for groceries listening to 95.5 WSB. 5 chances to win every day, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. Next chance to win coming up at 10 a.m. here on the Mark Arum Show. All right, let's hit the big local stories, Deborah, including North Point Mall. Full disclosure, actually, Maya went up there the other day. There's some store that her and her friend love, but I haven't been to North Point Mall in a minute. I've driven past it recently, but the future of North Point Mall has been in flux. What are they going to do with it? We know how malls are changing and they're being redeveloped, but did we finally get some clarification on the future of North Point Mall?
Well, Alpharetta City Council did approve a plan to redevelop that North Point Mall area into everything is now a mixed-use development.
Absolutely.
They want it to be very similar to what's happening at the Battery. So a bunch of apartments, obviously, entertainment complex, but the big thing is they're looking at a $20,000 or 20,000 seat arena for a potential NHL franchise. So they've got the green light to go ahead with this, but only if an actual NHL team signs on to go to that arena. So they can't really do anything until the NHL says, yeah, we'll move in there.
I'm not a big enough hockey guy to know what the future of NHL expansion is. I loved going to the Thrashers games. I wasn't here for what was the name of not the Stars.
Not Fire? What's it?
Atlanta.
Flames?
It's on the the Flames, maybe. I don't know. But I was a bit, and you could always get great seats to the Thrashers games. Like hockey in person is a really cool game. Like much like soccer. I love going to a live soccer match. Don't really watch it that much on TV aside from the World Cup. But a hockey game on TV, it's like, yeah, the playoffs are interesting. But a live hockey game, you're drinking hot chocolate, you're watching, it's a great experience. I'm just dubious that the NHL is going to be like, yeah, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Now, I know Major League Baseball is expanding by 2 teams. And it sounds like the 2 front runners, Deborah, are Salt Lake City, Utah, and Nashville.
Okay.
Which I think would be great. I know a lot of Braves fans are like, that's eating into Braves country. It's not going to happen. Like, if you're a Braves fan your whole life, you're not going to switch and be like, oh, I'm a Nashville fan. Even if you live in that, you might root for the team, but you're still going to be a Braves fan at heart.
Yeah, there's not much happening in Utah. It's fine if they get some stuff out there.
I had a lovely 6-hour layover there coming back from Vegas. It was awesome. We left the airport and Maya went to a little boutique and bought some dresses, and then we had a lobster roll. It was a phenomenal time. Beautiful part of the country. The mountains there, stunning, beautiful. I don't know what the elevation is in Salt Lake, though. That can affect baseballs flying out of the park. That's why Denver, Colorado Rockies, the high elevation, the more homers are hitting that ballpark than any other ballpark. All right, so I don't know. I think it would be supported well in Alpharetta, a professional hockey team, because like youth hockey is really big in the northern suburbs. I just don't know if the NHL is good. You'd have to write them a big, big check. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. You don't care about hockey at all, Deborah. And neither do the listeners. You're right.
I don't.
You're right.
Everyone in Wisconsin played hockey as a kid, but we didn't have a pro team. You had to go to Chicago.
That's right. There's no
No,
pro
it's
team.
Minnesota and Chicago. So that's why it was always the Packers and then the Brewers.
As a kid, did you go ice skating on Lake America?
That's too far away.
It's too far away.
But all the lakes in Madison, yes.
Yeah. I'm a horrible ice skater, but we do. I never played hockey, though. I wanted to keep my teeth as fine as they are. All right, Deborah, lit is back to school story. Another bad back to school story. A middle schooler stabbed someone here in North Georgia. Where did this go down?
This is actually Middle Georgia, so down in LaGrange. It was
okay.
Middle school, Gardner Newman Middle School in LaGrange. It was towards the end of the day, and a 13-year-old stabbed another 13-year-old with a pair of scissors. Lots of injuries. Obviously, they're not giving the students names because they're under 18.
Yeah.
And the student that was hurt was taken to the hospital. They haven't really given an update of how bad the injuries are, but 13 times with a pair of scissors. Any of the scissors you have in school, like the really long ones with the pointed end, these aren't the safety scissors or anything.
Yeah.
And it looks like the two just don't get along, kind of had a fight. So the one that did the stabbing, he's charged with aggravated assault, battery, and disrupting a public school.
But what did you said? He's 13.
They're both 13.
So I mean, you're not getting charged as an adult there. They just send him to juvie, I guess, if convicted.
That's just the worst age. Middle school's the worst age.
Yeah, we had fights in middle school, but never. No one ever thought to like stab someone with it. Yeah, that's rough. Are we going to see a change in policy where they have the rounded kindergarten scissors? That's all that's allowed in middle school. Middle school. When was the last time you tried to use a pair of those rounded scissors?
Probably not since elementary school.
There was this probably wouldn't happen in 2026, but I think you graduate. I don't know what grade it was, like first grade or whatever. They gave you real scissors to cut the construction paper or whatever. There was one exception though. I think it was 4th grade where we get the real scissors. But the teacher, to poor Jim Tripodi, like the only kid in the class, like, you're still going to use the rounded scissors, buddy. Like, you can't do that now, right? You can't exclude.
I don't think you can exclude somebody.
Yeah. I was talking to Maya about this the other day because I hate to, go down memory lane again, but there was no such thing as autism when I was in school. There was no diagnosis. And I don't know what percentage of kids have, but there were autistic kids on the spectrum for sure, but there was not a name for it. And there was one kid on my bus, and I don't know his name. I was older, like maybe 5th grade, and he was 2nd or 3rd grade. And like the culture on a bus can be cruel. I don't know if it's still the case, but a lot of bullying going on. And this kid he was mute, non-speaking, nonverbal. And he used to get like picked on quite a bit. And I was one of the older kids on the bus, and I'm like, I'm going to, protect this kid. So I would sit down and like sit on the bus with him so no one would bug him or pick on him. And I would try talking to him like, hey, don't worry about it. I've got your back. Like, no one's going to bother you. And he wouldn't answer me, wouldn't talk to me. And I didn't know that nonverbal was a thing at all. I think about that kid a lot. There was no diagnosis then. What were we talking about? Oh, I'm sorry. I just had I really think about this kid a lot. Like, what did he eventually get diagnosed? What is he doing now? So I'm 52. He's almost 50 probably. And I don't know his name. He wouldn't, because he was nonverbal. I think about that kid a lot. I digress. 9:46. When we come back, Josh Wingrove from Bloomberg News is going to join us. What derailed the trade talks between the United States and Canada? Bloomberg's getting an exclusive story on what exactly happened behind closed doors. We'll let him explain after we check traffic at 9:46, live with the latest Mike Shields.
And Mark, looking for trouble on the east side perimeter, 285 northbound the outer loop before Shanley Tucker Road, exit 34 on the jam cam. We can see the delays, and they start now as you leave Lawrenceville Highway, Highway 29, working your way up to I-85 Spaghetti Junction. Better news on the north side perimeter, a crash that's been hanging out in the right lane. Looks like that's been moved to the right shoulder, 285 westbound the outer loop at Riverside Drive, exit 24, and crash investigation cleared in Woodstock, Highway 92, Main Street, Highway 5, all back open, and those delays are slowly improving. This report is brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Hey, Georgia, remember you can play Georgia Lottery games from almost anywhere on any device. Go to GALottery.com and click on DigiGames. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
To be a top radio talk show host, you have to have the confidence to know who you are.
Are you Grandpa? I like
Grandpa
that.
Eric.
You're not like Peepaw?
No, I was asked by his parents, how would you like to be referred to? And I just said, Grandpa.
And the ability to care less.
No, I don't want any of that. Just Grandpa.
Eric Von Hessler. Around here, we call him Daddy.
I'm like abuelo. I'm a little loco.
You're not even Mexican.
Today at 3, 95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
Not only are uneven concrete surfaces around your house eyesores, they can be serious tripping hazards. AquaGuard's concrete lifting solution is just what you need. Go to aquaguard.net today and set up a free inspection. Remember, AquaGuard.
This kitchen is insane. New counters, new floors. Who did this?
My house.
Your house did your kitchen?
Yep. I used a HomeTap home equity investment to get cash from the equity I already had, with no monthly payments or impact on my mortgage rate.
So your home paid for itself. That's genius.
Huh. I guess I am a genius.
All right. Easy there.
HomeTap lets you turn your home equity into cash with no monthly payments. It's your home. Tap into it. See how much you could get at HomeTap.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Chris, financial study after financial study keeps showing us a troubling trend. Many Americans believe they could work and work and work with no end in sight and still not have enough saved to retire comfortably. And that's the key word here. So how do we retire comfortably?
One of the things I think everybody listening should focus on is pick a retirement date. If you're in a traditional job and it's not your passion and you don't own the company, pick a retirement date. Do you want to retire at 62? Do you want to retire at 65? Pick that date, meet with us, and let's go get it. And we will map it out, but give us a target to hit. My expectation is if you came in and we broke all of that down and created a financial plan around it, my inclination is that you go back to work with a totally different attitude. Yeah. Because you will have a target to shoot for. Now, For those of you that do not have $1 million portfolio, it's okay. Your number is your number. We've got to make it work for you. It's all about income and the safety of that income and the taxation of that income on you. So do not discount what you've built and what you have saved, but begin the process, especially if you fit this category where you feel like I may have to work, I guess, forever, because there is no retirement date. Yeah. That's a lot of burden to carry. I think, and I would hope, we can lift some of that burden for you.
It all starts with the Portfolio X-Ray, and that report is complimentary. Get started with the Hoffman Financial Group today. Call 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858 and online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Severe thunderstorms, a staple of summer in Atlanta. Don't let those severe storms impact your roof. It's Mark Arum here from my pals at Dr. Roof. Go to drroof.com now for coupons up to a 50-year workmanship warranty and a price match guarantee. Online at drroof.com.
I frankly thought we had a deal. I think that we should have a deal, but I think that we need to send a message loud and clear to the Prime Minister of Canada. Stop taking advantage of the people of Maine.
Vice President J.D. Vance, continue our coverage of the tariff war ongoing between the United States and our neighbors to the north. Covering the story, joining us live from Bloomberg News, Josh Wingrove. Josh, as always, appreciate your time, my friend.
Thank you for having me. This is an eventful time.
It is indeed. And exclusive reporting this morning on Bloomberg.com about what might have sabotaged, if you will, the talks between the United States and Canada.
Yeah, at the last moment, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is either the hero or the villain of this, depending on your perspective. This deal came together last week. You remember President Trump announced it on Tuesday, saying that they had a deal subject to finalization. They had sort of a 3-day overtime period, if you'll forgive a Canadian hockey analogy, and then it kind of fell apart at the last minute. And depending on who you ask, it was they were just far apart. The Canadians say the Americans did not reflect what they understood to be their deal in the text. In other words, there were surprises. Anyone who's ever bought a home might recognize that feeling. But the Americans say the Canadians made last-minute demands, and they were just too far apart. But Lutnick, we're told, was really at the center of that. It was Jamieson Greer, Trump's U.S. Trade representative, who'd been leading things. And in the final days, Secretary Lutnick got more involved. In particular, steel and aluminum producers in the U.S. did not want tariffs reduced because that helps their bottom line. It, of course, also raises prices for American consumers. So this is a tricky one. Lutnick went to bat for the metals companies and others, and this just kind of all fell apart. And so now we're spiraling. Trump has kicked in new tariffs. Prime Minister Carney has announced new ones that he's detailing today that'll take effect in September. Trump has spent the morning posting angry things about Canada, including maybe renaming Lake Ontario. So things are disintegrating pretty badly. Sources are telling us that there's no prospect in the immediate term, or even likely before the midterms even, of resuming these talks. Remember, Canada is the biggest buyer of U.S. exports. This is important to understand.
Huge.
So when they apply tariffs, it hits American companies.
So I was a little optimistic yesterday because Prime Minister Carney gave a September 8th start date for those reciprocal tariffs. And I said, well, you know what? That's like 10 days of possible negotiations. Right. Maybe that... but from what you just said, that might be just wishful thinking.
No, I would not hold your breath. I would not hold your breath. There was certainly some question on Saturday and Sunday of it, but since then it's become clear, and certainly in the last 24 hours of the president's comments, it's become clear that there's not a lot of interest in it. What the president has announced is that on January 1st, he's going to increase tariffs on Canadian automobiles, which is essentially increasing tariffs on Ford and GM, who build some vehicles in Canada and then ship them into the United States. Canada has done similar measures in retaliation that is blocking American-made cars from being sold there. This has impact on jobs. Mm-hmm. This has impact on consumers. And we should make no bones about that. The new tariffs that they've put in, the Americans, are very targeted, like almost literally town by town in Canada. And those towns are going to feel it across 3 or 4 provinces rather than all 10. And we're waiting to see what Prime Minister Carney does. Presumably they're weighing a decision whether to go after swing districts or not. But we're already seeing this influence the midterms. You played that clip of Vice President Vance, who was in Maine yesterday. Senator Collins didn't join him.
No.
And she's against these tariffs. And, of course, is the incumbent Republican there who's looking to hold on to that seat. So, yeah, it's hanging over things.
Yeah, I mean, the backdrop politically is now in the forefront because we have the midterms coming up. And I just assume President Trump threw that January 1 date out there saying, we'll deal with this after the midterms. But then Carney says, no, September 8th, we're going to do this before the midterms, which I think adds a level of fragility to the situation.
Absolutely. And U.S. officials saying that if Canada proceeded with those, that they would present Trump with options to retaliate. It's not really clear whether the autos tariff that he announced is that, or whether they would, reach deeper into the bag to pull out a different club. One thing that we've been watching for, remember, is will Trump threaten to just quit the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement? Any party can quit on 6 months' notice. He's threatened that a lot in his first term. He hasn't really gone there in his second term. It remains to be seen. Remember, polls are showing that voters are upset about the cost of living, right?
Yep.
And President Trump on Friday lowered tariffs on beef to try to lower the cost of beef, ticked off all American ranchers in doing so, by the way. So we're seeing more blowback from Republicans than we typically do for the president's trade agenda, and we're watching how it, affects certain, obviously the economy, certain industries, but also the certain electoral races. Michigan, of course, is top of mind here.
Absolutely.
This is arguably the biggest race in the Senate, and this is ground zero, Michigan, Ontario, for a battle that is basically about cars, steel, and aluminum. So I think this is going to hang over it. And last I stand to be corrected, but Mike Rogers, the Republican there, has not touched this with a 10-foot pole. But Abdullah Syed, the Democrat who's running, is all over it and thinks this is
And
silly.
listen, it's going to be big for any United States state that borders the Lake America, which I believe is the new nomenclature. Josh Wingrove, Bloomberg News. Great stuff as always. News, weather, and traffic at 3. When we come back, your chance to win $1,000 for groceries right here on the Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Fellas, time is seriously running out to get the most dollar for your hair. Advanced Hair Summer Savings Event almost at its close. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. Whether you have a receding hairline, bald spot, or thinning hair, most bang for your buck right now with Advanced Hair Summer Savings Event. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. That's right. They stand by the results. And make sure you check out the before and after pictures online at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It's simple, it's easy, and now it's more affordable than ever. Advanced Hair Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It is their best offer ever. Hurry up, guys. Stop sitting on the sidelines. Stop waiting on the fence. Jump in on this amazing deal. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 470-660-HAIR, 470-660-HAIR, advancedhair.com.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Priority Men's Medical Center restores men's love lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Priority Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Priority Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. Take control of your love life. Call now. 404-885-8885.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Our top local story new this morning. A Gwinnett County woman is found guilty in a cold case stabbing murder as she sits in a jail on a separate but similar crime.
52-year-old Carmen Hunt is sentenced to life in prison without parole for stabbing and killing a man she was trying to buy drugs from. 61-year-old Ray Neal's sister says she found him dead in his Lawrenceville home in 2019. The case went unsolved for years until police were able to match Hunt's fingerprints to one found at the scene. She's already serving time for stabbing another man in 2022 in Lawrenceville. That man survived. Hunt eventually pled guilty to aggravated assault in that case. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Mostly sunny today, hot but with low humidity, highs around 95. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast that comes your way in just over 2 minutes. An investigation is underway this morning after a van crashes into an elementary school bus in Cherokee County. Police say 2 kids are treated after suffering minor injuries. That crash happened at the intersection of Highway 92 and Main Street. The crash closed the northbound side of Main Street and a right lane on Highway 92. Alpharetta leaders approved a massive new redevelopment plan for North Point Mall in a marathon meeting that lasted into this morning.
Resident Davis Myers spoke before the council. Now, he says North Point Mall has a special place in his heart.
My first date was at the mall. I grew up and going to high school here.
Myers says he supports the new development.
And this is at a point now, I think, for the city of Alpharetta to really do something that's incredible.
Besides the chance at a hockey team, the project will bring nearly 1,300 apartments, bring parks, offices, much like the Battery in Cobb County. Now, the developer says they'll invest $15 billion into the project, and it should generate nearly $30 million a year in taxes. Keith Cromo, 95.5 WSB.
Polls are now open for a special election runoff for Georgia's 13th congressional district.
The race to fill Congressman David Scott's seat is down to the congressman's daughter, Marcy Scott, and former Gwinnett County School Board Chairman Everton Blair. Marcy Scott wants to finish her father's term, who died on April 22nd at 80 years old. Blair is campaigning on his past experience as an elected official. The special election will determine who will fill David Scott's seat through the end of the year. The winner will spend 9 weeks in Washington starting next month. Jordan Brown, 95.5 WSB.
Well, the U.S. and Canada are in the middle of a full-blown trade war. President Trump saying tariffs on imports of cars, trucks, and auto parts from Canada will increase to 50% starting on January 1st, 2027, after talks between the two countries broke down. The president saying Canada has been ripping off the United States of America for years. Meanwhile, Canada announcing tariffs on some U.S. goods that'll start September 8th. Let's take a look at the markets right now and see how your investments are working for you this morning. We're in the green. The Dow currently up 39 at 53,456. NASDAQ also up more than 0.5%. The S&P is also in positive territory. Let's get a check of those roads. Ashley Frasca in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Good morning, Sabrina. It looks like Hero on scene with some trouble headed towards Spaghetti Junction. It's on 285 northbound before Chamblee Tucker Road, taking out a right center lane. Has you on the brakes as you're coming up from Memorial Drive. And a crash getting out of Cumming, right lane blocked on 400 south past 141 Peachtree Parkway, and construction knocking out the left lane of Highway 316 westbound past Collins Hill. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Sunny skies and hot today with a high of 95. Lows tonight cooling to the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow, increasing humidity levels, partly cloudy with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible, high 92. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms on Thursday, highs in the upper 80s.
75 degrees in Sandy Springs. It's 74 in Winder, 76 right now in Stonecrest. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Tuesday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:04, 4 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. Extended fam with us today. Deborah, the Gracie Award-winning executive producer of the program. We got David, we got Darius, manning the phones, buzzing around, looking for food. I don't know what's going on, but we also have Down South Vinny on the other side of the takeout window. Mere minutes, less than 5 minutes probably. I'm going to give you a keyword on our Grand for Groceries promotion. You enter the keyword on to the WSB Radio app or WSBradio.com/groceries, and you can win a grand for groceries. And we do a little earlier today because we have Julia Manchester from The Hill going to be joining us in just a couple of minutes to update our big stories there, especially most notably what's going on between the United States and Canada. This happened when we were off the air yesterday, I believe, Deborah. We got word from the Supreme Court about mail-in voting. AP correspondent Ed Donahue reports a Supreme Court victory for President Trump.
The Supreme Court is clearing the way for President Trump to move ahead on his executive order restricting mail-in voting. The three liberal-leaning justices on the Supreme Court dissented. Mail balloting has long been a favorite target for the president, who has claimed it breeds fraud despite strong evidence to the contrary and his own use of voting by mail.
The cheating on mail-in voting is legendary. It's horrible what's gone on. And it's very clearly covered, very, very clearly. So I think this will help a lot with elections.
The executive order signed in March calls on the administration to create lists of eligible voters and orders the Postal Service to deliver mail ballots only to people on those lists. The Postal Service laid out how it would implement the order last week, but in just a few weeks, some states will start sending out mail ballots to voters. More court challenges could also slow down the process. Ed Donahue, Washington.
So that's the thing we need to watch, because there are going to be more court challenges to this. So this isn't a final decision, the way I read it from the Supreme Court. But we got the midterms coming up really quickly, and the post office, what are they going to do? What can they do? I don't know if and we here in the state of Georgia, what can we do with mail-in ballots, because we're so close to the midterm elections. But obviously a favorable decision from the Supreme Court for the Trump administration, covering what we are hearing from the administration after that Supreme Court decision moments ago. Elena Treen at the White House.
Yeah, look, clearly the White House is framing this as a win, and it is a win. But as you mentioned, Kate, it's a procedural win, and it could be temporary. I think the fighting over this is really just getting started, and there's likely to be more court battles ahead on what's going to happen. But to break down exactly what the president is trying to do here, he signed an executive order back in March that essentially says that he wants the post office to control who and who does not get these mail-in ballots. Now, it essentially, this order issued by the president back in the spring told DHS that they were to come up with a list of eligible voters in each state, and then told the Postal Service that you can only send mail-in ballots to those people and only get ballots back from those people from these eligible lists. A group of 23 Democratic states plus Washington, D.C. challenged that executive order. They essentially said that it was unconstitutional and argued it's up to the states under the Constitution to determine how elections are conducted. However, the Supreme Court came in and said it's a little bit too early to actually make that legal argument, that it's not clear yet how this would actually work, so it's hard to say whether or not it's legal or unconstitutional. And so this is a temporary thing, again, that we're likely to see a legal battle in the future ensue to actually determine it. Of course, timing is a big issue here. You laid out how some of the the justices on the bench who were appointed by Democratic presidents in the past, how they're arguing this throws a lot of chaos into the midterm elections. The November elections are just 70 days away now, and this could upend how people understand whether or not they're able to get mail-in ballots or not. So there's confusion around that. Now, I do think it's unlikely, you speak to legal experts, that this is actually going to be upheld in time for the midterm elections, that all of this is going to be implemented. But even if it's not, of course, it could be implemented for 2028. So the stakes remain very high for this. And I would just add, Kate, that this is a fight that the president has wanted to really launch going all the way back to his first term. He has repeatedly argued that mail-in ballots are rife with fraud, something that, of course, many other experts have argued is just not not the case. And this was one way that he's trying to exert that pressure on different states to change the way some of these elections are conducted, specifically when it comes to mail-in voting. So keep all of that in mind. One more thing I would just add is there was an election last week, a primary elections in Florida. The president did vote by mail in that election. Just something to remind some of our viewers that many people vote by mail, and that is how they are able to vote in these elections. So a lot of questions about what's actually going to happen and whether or not any of this will actually be in effect when we look ahead to the November elections.
Yeah, that's the big question here in Georgia. Political analyst Stephen Lawson going to join us live tomorrow. We'll pick his brain on how this Supreme Court decision will impact the mail-in ballots here in Georgia. But Deborah, there are entire states that vote with mail-in ballots, right? I think Washington.
Yeah, out west, right?
Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do, but obviously a very important story. We will continue to monitor, but a Supreme Court victory for President Trump yesterday. All right, let's give away a grand for grass. You can spend the $1,000 however you want it, but we're calling it a grand for groceries. Your 10 a.m. keyword is WANT, W-A-N-T, WANT. Enter the keyword WANT into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/groceries. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword and win $1,000. The keyword is WANT, W-A-N-T. And don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 from an 833 number, answer it. Could be us telling you you won $1,000. The keyword is WANT, W-A-N-T. WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/groceries. Good luck. If you win $1,000, again, a lot of us will spend them on groceries. A lot of us might hurry up and buy some Canadian maple syrup because that apparently is going to get tariffed to the moon. Continue our team coverage of what's going on between the United States and Canada. Joining us from the Hill on the Mark Arum Show, it's Julia Manchester. Julia, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mark. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
We've been talking a lot about the possible economic impact if these tariffs and the reciprocal tariffs go into effect, but there's a big political angle to these tariffs, this tariff war, if you will.
There is, and I just have to start off. I literally just opened my computer and saw that President Trump is now posting pictures of Lake Ontario with the name Ontario crossed out and America. Replacing it. So that's where we are on the White House end of this in terms of, the threats and the political back and forth. But yes, ahead of the midterms, there certainly is an angle. There are a number of toss-up Senate races in states that do quite a bit of business with Canada. Maine, for example, Ohio, Michigan, Alaska, to an extent, Iowa. You have, also New Hampshire. These are, very competitive Senate races where you see Democrats really looking to go on the offensive against Republicans, citing President Trump's tariffs. And in at least one of those states, in Maine, you have Senator Susan Collins, who's actually going against the administration, calling this a mistake on President Trump's part. So right now, I think a lot of these candidates being put in a very difficult position ahead of the midterms as Republicans continue to grapple with affordability as an issue.
My knee-jerk reaction is, wow, President Trump doesn't care about the midterms at all. But he also said that these would go into effect, these Canadian tariffs, on January 1st, which would be after the midterms. And then the Prime Minister of Canada said, no, we're doing ours on September 8th, which is well before the midterms. Is there any chance that someone gets into the president's ear and say, hey, listen, the House is up for grabs, and if you continue down this path, we might lose some of these border states in the Senate, which would mean we lose both houses?
It's unclear. I would imagine that there are concerns among some Republicans. We know that over the past 10 years or so, there has been this intra-party debate among Republicans as to whether they're, more of an economic protectionist party, which we've seen brought on by the MAGA movement, by President Trump himself, or if they're still a party that supports the free market and free trade. That's how one strategist put it to me. So I think there's certainly going to be differing points of view here. But I thought it was interesting to hear Ontario Premier Doug Ford saying yesterday that he will literally target, or Canada will literally target, red states with these tariffs, really putting the political pressure on President Trump there.
Yeah, Ford not one to shy away from the microphone or make loud declarations like that. So, I mean, earlier last week we heard from the president, hey, we got a great deal with Canada. This is going to be, it's all peaches and cream. And then it kind of exploded over the weekend. What was the immediate reaction on Capitol Hill from reporters, lawmakers, everybody about this Canadian deal that didn't come to fruition?
Well, look, I think for someone like me who covers the midterms, who covers the White House, the big reaction was this timing is not great for Republicans as they're grappling with affordability, as President Trump is trying to make this economic case for Republicans ahead of the midterms. And, you know, since then, we've seen really this back and forth, this he said, she said between Washington and Ottawa. You had Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney saying that, you know, part of the reason why this deal imploded was because of, you know, French language requirements and U.S. frustrations with those requirements. Of course, you know, with Quebec and a lot of the French-speaking population in Canada, when, you know, the U.S., you know, exports goods to Canada, that means that on packaging, there is the extra step of including, for example, a French label or French language in addition to the English label and English language on the package. Now, Jamieson Greer, the U.S. Trade Representative, and President Trump have forcefully pushed back on that, saying that is not true. That was not why the deal fell through. But there's actually been some reporting from Bloomberg and the New York Times this morning suggesting that this deal imploded after Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick appeared not to be thrilled with the deal that Trade Representative Jamieson Greer negotiated. So this could be also an intra-administration battle playing out too.
Yeah, interesting. Speaking of midterms, I don't know if you're up to date on this race, Julia, but we have the South Carolina primary today, Lindsey Graham's sister versus Norman. Any indication of which way that race is going to go?
Well, look, I think it's going to be close. Norman obviously had run a statewide campaign running for governor. He is, you know, a well-known name in Republican Party politics in South Carolina. But Darlene Graham comes in there with Lindsey Graham's last name, and she has the endorsement of President Trump and the financial backing of President Trump and his allies. In fact, we saw President Trump's super PAC, MAGA Inc., pour $800,000 into that race, that runoff race, marking a really significant, one of the most significant spends that group has made this year alone. So, you know, sort of from people I've chatted with, it seems like the sense is Darlene Graham might have somewhat of an advantage, but, you know, it's too close to call. At the end of the day, this is just a really big test for President Trump's endorsement.
At the end of the day, no matter who wins the Republican primary, still a safely red seat there in South Carolina?
Yes, absolutely. Obviously, the national mood for Republicans is not great, and we've seen other states like Texas and Alaska move towards that toss-up category, or I should say Texas and Iowa, move to that toss-up category in the Senate. We haven't seen that yet with South Carolina. That's going to be a tougher state for Democrats, but again, it could be you know, closer than expected due to the President Trump's falling approval ratings and his impact on the party.
Julia Manchester from the Hill. Julia, great insight as always. Have a great day, my friend.
Thank you.
10:18 on the Mark Arum Show. In case you are just joining us, your 10 a.m. keyword for a grand for groceries is want. W-A-N-T, want. Enter the keyword want into the WSB Radio app or online at wsbradio.com/groceries. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. It is want. W-A-N-T. And most importantly, if you get a call from an 833 number after 10:30, it's not a scam. It could be Vinny calling to tell you want a grand for groceries. So pick it up, an 833 number. Keyword is want. Right now, I want to check the ride around town. Let's say hello and good morning to the incomparable Ashley Frasca.
Hey, Mark, and folks do not want to get stuck on the west side perimeter. Unfortunately, in Vinings, we have a traffic red alert, a big vehicle fire, and smoke is billowing for miles. 285 northbound. This is just past Paces Ferry Road, exit number 18. All lanes are shut down as they're battling that blaze, so traffic is quickly quickly stacking up back at Hollowell Parkway. You can go through downtown Atlanta, use the connector northbound instead. Also having an impact on the ride on 75 South, headed out of Marietta, trying to make the transition onto 285 West or South. Folks looking across at the flames and the smoke. Traffic brought to you by Compassion International. It's not too late. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year for a sponsor. End their wait today. Sponsor a child with compassion. Text radio to 83393. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
WSB's looking for a home for Phantom. Chris Chandler here. Phantom's our WSB Dog of the Month with Paws Atlanta. 9-month-old, sweet, playful white pitty, and there's a special reason we want him to find a home. Go to WSBRadio.com/dog and see. Our sponsor, Finley Roofing, will pay the adoption fees. WSBRadio.com/dog.
If you've been thinking about selling your home, now is the time. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home fast and for more than you expect. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. One of the most stressful things about selling your home is not being able to control the timing. Mark Spain Real Estate allows you to receive an all-cash offer and close in as little as 21 days. Hassle-free, guaranteed. No showings, no open houses, and no waiting around wondering when your home is going to sell. It's that simple. Take it from one of their clients, BR, who said Mark Spain Real Estate sold my home within 30 days. We received 4 offers in just 1 week. Thanks to them, the process was by far the easiest and quickest. With over 12,500 5-star reviews, you can trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell your home fast and for the most money. Choose when you want to move with a Mark Spain Real Estate guaranteed offer and close with confidence. Find out what your guaranteed cash offer would be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
At Choice Men's Health, patients are experiencing positive results for treatment of ED and performance issues in the bedroom. Here's Bill's story.
I'm a 60-year-old man who moved to the area recently. I suffer from diabetes and I'm taking heart medication. Unfortunately, one of the symptoms I've experienced for the past 5 years is ED, which has had a major impact on the intimacy my wife and I have always enjoyed. I've tried all the pills, and like a lot of people with diabetes, they just weren't effective. My wife heard a commercial on this radio station, and she made an appointment for me with Choice Men's Health. I was blown away by how effective it was. My marriage has never been better. I truly believe it made all the difference. I'm grateful for my wife for making the appointment, and I highly recommend you go see Choice Men's Health and get back in the game.
Call Choice Men's Health at 404-400-1170. They guarantee results in the first visit, or the exam is free. Call for your appointment today. Choice Men's Health, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
The following is a paid commercial announcement. Gas prices are surging because of the war in Iran, but Congressman Mike Collins won't do anything about it. Why? Because Mike Collins refuses to disagree with Donald Trump on anything. Here's Mike Collins in a recent interview.
Is there anything that you disagree with President Trump on?
I'll tell you this. I disagree. I don't see how he gets by with 3 hours sleep.
That's right. Mike Collins is always with Donald Trump, no matter how much it costs Georgians. Listen to Mike Collins again.
I fully support President Trump and what he is doing with Iran.
Mike Collins supports Trump's war even though it's cost taxpayers over $100 billion and has sent gas prices soaring, because Collins is always with Trump.
Is there anything that you disagree with President Trump on?
I'll tell you this. I disagree. I don't see how he gets by with 3 hours sleep.
Call 202-225-4101. Tell Mike Collins to stop supporting Trump's war. Paid for by Defend the Vote Action Fund.
Recently, we got another beloved addition to the Arum household, 6-year-old Dalmatian rescue, Walter. Oh, he is so cute. Hey, it's Mark Arum. So now I got Walter and Soba chilling at home. And while I'm at work, I want some peace of mind that the pups are okay. That's where Xfinity comes in. They've got this thing called Wi-Fi motion. It's amazing. When changes in the signal are detected, you get a Wi-Fi motion alert letting you know that movement was detected between the gateway and the smart device. No cameras, motion simply being detected because there are big enough change in the Wi-Fi signal signaling human movement. Unbelievable what we get in 2026 with my friends at Xfinity. As always, reliable Xfinity Wi-Fi with built-in Wi-Fi protection that includes homes and devices. What if your Wi-Fi had peace of mind built right in? Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only. Xfinity Internet and compatible equipment required.
Jared Yamamoto here. Remember the date, September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day arrives with exclusive deals and an all-day celebration built for sports fans. The countdown has begun, and all roads lead to Game Day. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states, so that means right here in Georgia, every fan is in on the excitement. One app, every sport, all 50 states. DraftKings Game Day is yours. September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era, and the biggest day in sports history. New DraftKings customers sign up with code Atlanta Talk. Spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code Atlanta Talk. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim, issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
I'll stop singing. That was a bad rendition. Want is the keyword for a grand for groceries. W-A-N-T. Want. Pop in Want into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/groceries. You could win a grand for groceries courtesy of the Mark Arum Show 95.5 WSB. And don't forget, if you get a call after 10:30 from an 833 number, pick it up because Vinny's got an 833 number. It could be Vinny telling you you want a grand for groceries. You can spend it on whatever you want. Baseball cards, bunnies, vinyl CDs, or a DNA test. Vinyl records, I'm sorry. Or a DNA test. I have been on the record that I do not want to take a DNA test. What I don't know, ignorance is bliss when it comes to my DNA and my ancestry. But this might change my mind. Apparently, a DNA test was taken, and it turns out the person is an honest-to-goodness prince.
Yeah, this is in Belgium. So a 26-year-old car salesman took a DNA test because his mother told him, oh, yeah, your father is Prince Laurent of Belgium. And he's just like, yeah, whatever, right? Who wouldn't, would you believe that if your mom? Yeah, exactly. Not. So, but she kept insisting that she dated him in the 90s.
Oh, like a little, okay.
Well, it was before he was married. They dated in the 90s.
Extramarital.
No, they were the prince was not married. Yeah.
Premarital.
Yeah, they dated in the 90s. And so she kept saying, that's your father. And he just didn't believe him. So they took a DNA test and comes out Prince Laurent is his dad. And so now he is got the title of a prince. He is equal to inheritance rights with his princess and princess brothers. Now he does not get
siblings.
Yes, does not get a royal allowance, and he does not have to take on any official duties. But if he wants to take the family name, he can.
All right. Mom, if you're listening, if there's any chance you hooked up with royalty in 1973, text me on the Piccadilly text line, and I'll take a DNA test. That might be worth it. Ooh, but imagine who's the royal that got stripped of his title? The bad dude?
Oh, was it Andrew?
And yeah.
Oh.
Imagine it comes back, oh, Andrew's your dad.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. All right, maybe not, Mom. Maybe not. Want is your keyword, W-A-N-T. Got 3 minutes to pop it into the WSB Radio app. When we come back, Scott Slade's going to join us talking affordable housing next on the Mark Arum Show.
Hi, I'm Matt Gamble, parts associate at Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. My job is to make sure you get the best price possible on quality Lexus parts and accessories during your visit. From spark plugs and wheels to custom merchandise. Experience amazing at Butler Lexus South Atlanta. 800 New Lexus.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume, how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
Back to school season is busy, I know, but making your home shine, that doesn't have to be one of your problems. I'm Chris Chandler. Wise Guys Pro Wash had my house, driveway, deck, even the roof looking spotless, and I did not even have to be home. Their soft washing keeps everything safe, no damage, just results you'll love. And with more than 2,000 five-star reviews, you'll see why everybody's calling Wise Guys. New customers, mention me, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your next service. Book today at wiseguysprowash.com. Wise Guys, the wise choice for your home.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
$2,100. That's 3 months of groceries.
$2,100. That's the tax increase Senator John Ossoff supported in Washington. Ambitious and liberal, Senator Ossoff voted with national Democrats for a $2,100 tax increase. Senator Ossoff voted to gut the child tax credit for middle-class families. He voted for higher taxes on Social Security recipients earning under $75,000 a year. He even voted to keep taxing tips and overtime pay for hardworking people struggling to get by. A $2,100 tax increase on the average Georgia family? Senator Ossoff's tax hikes would have been devastating. Senator John Ossoff is driven by advancing his political ambitions and becoming a Democrat celebrity. He doesn't care about people like you. Call Senator Ossoff today at 202-224-3521 and tell him to stop voting for higher taxes. Paid for by One Nation.
Anyone on the roads in North Georgia knows that tractor trailers are everywhere. For my friends in the motorcycle community, a distracted big rig could change your life forever. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Steel Horse Law specializes in motorcycle accidents involving trucks, and they can protect you from big corporations and their armies of lawyers. Steel Horse Law can help you get back on your feet, medical bills paid, back to work, and your case resolved. Schedule your free accident evaluation at steelhorselaw.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. We are hearing this morning for the first time from the family of the man charged in that deadly stabbing on the Atlanta Beltline.
The family of 54-year-old Jonathan Hamby tells loved ones of the victim, 29-year-old Ramon Harris, they are deeply sorry. Atlanta police say Hamby and Harris got into an argument on the Beltline not far from Ponce City Market when Hamby allegedly stabbed Harris, killing him. The family says Hamby has a severe mental illness, making him think others are planning to attack him. But the family also says Hamby's a victim of systemic failures in the criminal justice system. They say they tried to get the courts to intervene and allow family members to make decisions on his behalf, but that request was never granted. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Mostly sunny today, hot, but low humidity. Highs around 95, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming your way in about 2 minutes. A cold case from 2019 is now closed after a woman is found guilty of murder in Gwinnett County. The woman was already in jail for stabbing a man in 2022. Now, Carmen Marie Hunt is convicted of malice murder and felony murder for the stabbing death of Ray Anthony Neal back in 2019. Police have been investigating that case over the last 7 years. 3 years later, she stabbed Derek Gray Young. Investigators were able to match her fingerprints with prints found at the scene of Neal's death. Hunt now has a life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole. Well, crime is down across the city of Atlanta. That's according to new numbers from the Atlanta Police Department, which note a 13% drop in the past year for overall crime. And Deputy Chief Jessica Bruce says more help is on the way.
We also have graduation for Class 297, which is this Friday, which is an additional 23 officers that have already hit the street last week. As we build back the department, you'll see 168 recruits that I currently have in training.
About 45 would-be officers are waiting for the next training session to start. One city councilman says that he's noticed a drop in crime and an increased police presence at gas stations, which can often become crime scenes. The Supreme Court has backed new U.S. Postal Service regulations on mail-in voting, prompting questions about how the changes could be implemented with congressional midterms just over 2 months away. The Trump administration saying the new rules will make voting by mail more secure, but critics say there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud in U.S. elections. Jay O'Brien has more from Washington.
The ruling allows the Department of Homeland Security to create a federal registry of what it believes are eligible voters, also inside that Trump executive order, allowing the post office to decide essentially who would be sent a mail-in ballot and only send those out in states that have provided their voter information to the federal government.
Now, Texas Senator Ted Cruz making it clear that he will be running for president again. He was asked if the party is rallying around Vice President J.D. Vance.
Oh, no. There's going to be a full discussion about who we are and what we believe.
Now, Cruz is a lawyer by trade, but shot down suggestions that he could instead be a Supreme Court justice. He says that President Trump asked him 3 times if he wanted to be nominated, and all 3 times he said no. A new blood test designed to help identify signs of Alzheimer's disease has just been cleared by the FDA.
The biomarker blood test from Roche and Eli Lilly is for people over 55 and breaks from traditional methods of diagnosing Alzheimer's like spinal taps or PET scans. It's already been approved for use in Europe, and there are 4,500 existing labs across the U.S. that can analyze the blood samples. Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States is diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. I'm Rory O'Neill.
All right, let's take a look at the markets. Right now, the Dow is up 49 at 53,466. NASDAQ is also in positive territory. So is the S&P. Ashley Frasca is joining us now from the 24-hour traffic center. How are we doing on the roads?
Well, unfortunately, we've been watching a traffic red alert for the last 15, 20 minutes. They're holding all lanes in Vinings on 285 northbound, putting out a massive truck fire just past Paces Ferry, exit number 18. So all lanes are blocked there. Traffic is jammed back at Hollowell Parkway. If you're hearing this in from the western suburbs, work your way to I-20 eastbound. Take that in through West Atlanta to the downtown connector northbound. It's also negatively impacting the ride out of Marietta. 75 south brake lights begin around the south 120 loop. Folks ramping on to 285 south or west, looking over the wall. Again, at the traffic red alert, 285 north, shut down at Paces Ferry. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly sunny and dry today with a high of 95. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with increasing humidity levels and an isolated rain shower possible, high 92. Mostly cloudy on Thursday with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms.
76 degrees in Johns Creek and Jefferson. Jonesboro, you have 79 degrees. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I need your attention.
Where you're going is a given.
Use caution as you travel through the area.
How you're getting there.
Major slowdown. That's the question.
The outer loop slow as you leave Truist Park.
Before you hit the navigation
And so maybe jump north of there and use La Vista Road.
Listen to the people you trust.
Unusual delays with the direction of this crash.
Updated traffic as often as you need every time you listen.
Following extreme delays.
More experience, more reliable, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Triple Team Traffic.
And the delays are growing out of
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Coming up next, President Trump posting new information about the Strait of Hormuz, and Scott Slade joins us to talk affordable housing. 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
Most home sellers get one offer. It's somewhere between lowball and not good enough. Orchard changes that. With Orchard's new Orchard Offers, you don't just get one offer. You get multiple cash offers from serious investors all competing for your home. That's right. Make investors compete with Orchard's cash offer marketplace. Here's how it works. You work with an Orchard agent who submits your home to their exclusive network of hundreds of local cash buyers. They come to you with offers. You review them all and pick the best one on your terms. So you don't have to settle on one offer or worry about leaving money on the table. You see every offer side by side. That's how you know you're getting top dollar. Orchard Offers means no repairs, no showings, no drawn-out process. Before you accept any offer, see them all first. Get a free home valuation and see your offers today with Orchard Offers. Go to Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
10:37 on the Mark Arum Show, coming in without a band because they just went on strike. The band from Canada is tariffed, so they refuse to play here. Should I play some music? Yeah, let me play some music because, again, it's weird. If I don't have music coming in, then I just seem awkward. I can't even play music here. All right, that's all right. We don't need, this is the a cappella version of the Mark Arum Show. I'm just excited because we have a Grand for Gas winner. I'm going to tell you who won in just a second. But picked up this news in the news break. President Trump on Truth Social. Quote, I have just been informed by the United States Navy that all mines have been removed and or detonated from within the international waters of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has been notified that any ship or boat placing new mines will be immediately and systematically destroyed. Through Space Force, we are watching every square inch of the strait, as we are also with Pickaxe Mountain and the already destroyed 3 other nuclear sites. There is a zero-tolerance policy of mine placement in full force and effect. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. That just posted. The markets are all up right now, and oil is down almost 3% per barrel. So some good news there from President Trump. We'll verify that it is now mine-free in the Strait of Hormuz, but certainly some good news there. Every Tuesday at this time, longtime friend and colleague Scott Slade. Scott, good morning, buddy.
Mark, it's good to speak to you again. I hope you're doing well today.
Yeah, it was great seeing you Saturday at the Marcy Williams Radio Hall of Fame induction. It was like a little mini reunion there of WSB employees.
Oh, yeah, it was. And she was hilarious. You know, what she said, accepting that most deserved award. And it was really a great evening. It was so good to see some old friends.
I mean, I would expect nothing less from one of the greatest writers we've ever seen, that she would craft a phenomenal speech like that.
I love what she said about being able to skip out on a seminar she didn't want to go to. She raised her hand and said, "Excuse me, could I have a bathroom break?" And they said, "Well, sure." She said, "I didn't bother to tell them the bathroom I had in mind was at my home."
She never came back to that meeting. Too much. Scott, very, very interested in what you want to chat with us today. You got a great interview for us. Tell us about it.
Yes, indeed. And, affordable housing has been something that's has gotten my attention over the years, Mark. And the National Association of Realtors now puts the age of the first-time home buyer at 40. Though there's some surveys that put it a bit younger in the mid-30s, but still, that's pretty late. And there's several reasons for that. Difficult saving for a down payment, life milestones, younger adults are delaying marriage, and other things that usually lead to buying a house. And more importantly, affordability. You might have known in mid-January, the Congress passed the 21st Century Road to Housing Act that was supposed to help. But will it? Dave Fagundes is a professor of law and associate dean of faculty at the Emory School of Law with expertise in property and real estate transactions, among other things. And Professor Fagundes has been going through this thing. Will it actually help in solving the affordable housing dilemma? Will it actually help?
I think so. I mean, the aspiration is obviously to make housing of a lot of different kinds more accessible on a lot of different levels. But one big picture point about the statute is that it tries to achieve that end by creating a lot of incentives, providing certain kinds of grants, and limiting a lot of regulations. But it doesn't do a lot in the way of mandating outcomes or ordering the construction of housing. So I think while it probably will make a difference, I think given the way that it seeks to increase access to housing, it'll probably be a longer, slower, less direct process than people might want or imagine.
It's only been law since mid-July, so it hasn't had much of a chance to percolate just yet. Well, as you read into it, yeah, you mentioned incentives, that sort of thing. Will the banking industry, for instance, be more incentivized to jump in here and help, especially younger couples, purchase their first home?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a few different features that are directed at that. One is that the statute seeks to make it more accessible to get mortgages under $100,000 because, the cost of a mortgage origination doesn't really scale with the amount of a mortgage. So there's less incentive for lenders to get that out. And what it's trying to encourage is for lenders to have lower cost opportunities to give out mortgages below that threshold. Whether that happens remains to be seen because the way that it seeks to do that is by issuing recommendations that may or may not be adopted. But the aspiration is there.
Speaking to the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Dr. Ben Carson, many years ago, I asked him some of the same questions about this. And I said, how we make housing more accessible, more affordable for people. And he said, you need to start at the local level. And with more lenient zoning regulations for manufactured housing, for instance, and even in the manufactured housing industry. Are you reading some of that into what they try to do with the Road to Housing Act here?
Yeah, great. No, that's an explicit and pretty major part of the statute. In fact, I think a lot of observers think this is one of the most substantial parts of the bill where it goes furthest. And the big thing that it does is it drops the permanent chassis requirement, which is a highly technical point. I don't have the mechanistic knowledge to fully explain it, but essentially what that does is it cuts the cost of manufactured housing by up to $10,000 per unit. It also does a few other things. It authorizes some grants for manufactured home community preservation, and then it directs the Fair Housing Authority of the federal government to modernize financing standards so it's easier to get loans. And those are all great ideas, but yeah, you and Carson are right to say if local governments don't change zoning regulations, nothing happens. And one thing the bill doesn't do is preempt local zoning. In other words, it doesn't just override local laws. It invites localities to take certain moves and to make certain recommendations. It also requires states to certify that their laws treat chassis-free homes, manufactured homes, the same as traditional ones. But, look, if you look at local jurisdictions, they have tons of restrictions on manufactured housing placement, how the foundation has to be built, aesthetic codes, etc. So unless localities get on board, not a lot is going to change.
Is there anything else you'd like to add here? Anything that you think that we should include here?
No, I think this is a good statute. I think, like I keep saying, it has a good aspiration. I like the things it's trying to do, but you can also tell that this statute is the product of compromise, partly because it sort of has this quality of cobbling together so many different proposals that have been floated and that finally came together in this omnibus package. But at the same time, it stops short of using the full force of the federal government to order localities, states to take action. And instead, it's sort of trying to invite them to do that by incentivizing them. So there's a lot of carrots in here, not a lot of sticks. Whether that works will remain to be seen.
That's Dave Fagundes, professor of law, associate dean of faculty at the Emory School of Law, speaking about the 21st Century Road to Housing Act. And, at this point, Mark, it's only been in effect here since mid-July. And my sources in the Georgia manufactured housing industry tell me that they're still waiting on the rules to be promulgated, which means they haven't gotten the guidance yet on how this thing might actually work. But you could say it's a first step.
Yeah, no doubt. We talked about this briefly yesterday, not the Housing Act, but the American dream, right? For generations, certainly post-World War II, the road to the American dream has been home ownership, right? You buy that starter home and you get equity in that, and then you upsize to a bigger home and you get equity in that, and that has been the major wealth builder here in the United States is home ownership.
Absolutely, by far. It's the number one way most Americans are able to accumulate wealth, and that has a lot to say about the quality of their later lives.
Indeed. Great stuff as always, Scott. Scott, what's coming up Thursday on Scott Slade's Georgia?
Well, I'm still working on it, and at this point, it might very well be a look at someone known as Professor Backwards, a Georgia man who was on the Ed Sullivan Show no less than 23 times in his career. It's a fascinating story.
Yeah, you gave me a preview on Saturday. Very excited to see that come together. Scott, great stuff as always. Have a fantastic day, my friend.
Mark, always appreciate talking to you. Have a good day.
Got to keep the American dream alive. Affordable home ownership, obviously a big story, especially for the younger generation out there. The boomers are like, this is awesome. I saw a meme. It was two boomers dancing, and they're like, when you bought your home for $50,000 40 years ago and you just sold it to BlackRock for $1 million.
That was my parents. They bought their house for like 40 and they ended up selling it for close to 5.
Yeah, that is the American dream for sure. All right, 10:47 on the Mark Arum Show. Let's check the ride around town. I texted this to you yesterday, and I put it up in my story on social media on Instagram at Mark Arum. Deborah, the Goodyear blimp flew over my house yesterday when I was walking the dogs. And I was like, oh, my God, the Goodyear blimp. It's here apparently for the East Lake Golf Tournament, the PGA Tour Championship.
That is kind of cool. And they have a great social media presence. Very good sense of humor.
Absolutely. Oh, speaking of golf, you were at a charity golf event yesterday. Tell us about it.
Yeah, benefiting the Kennesaw Public Safety Foundation. Lots of great golfers and sponsors turned out to benefit the Kennesaw Police Department.
So you were, I hope this is
not... I did not golf.
No, but you were the, quote, cart girl?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah,
you
I
could
mean, is
call
that
it
the proper? Yeah. Were
sure.
they like, oh my God, Ashley Frasca?
No,
Oh.
I was just driving really bad, so I don't want anybody to know who I was.
Wah, wah. How are we doing on the roads, Frask?
Well, unfortunately, monitoring a traffic red alert, massive truck fire, and the cleanup underway in Vinings. 285 North is shut down still at Paces Ferry, and the backups begin at Hollowell Parkway. You can exit onto exit 18 there if you can make it up the shoulder. Use I-20 eastbound to the downtown connector instead. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Back to school means back to school lunches and snacks.
And the price of groceries keeps going up. But we have the solution.
WSB's Grand for Groceries. 5 chances a day to win $5,000.
Yes!
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday. Enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB Radio app.
Thank you. Your next chance to win is coming up at 12.
WSB's Grand for Groceries.
It pays to get your news from 95.5 WSB.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks? Oh, really? Rufus loves new tricks. It's Ashley Frasca for Finley Roofing, the roof guys. Known for decades of impeccable roofing, now offering windows and doors that live up to the Finley name. Provia Windows and Doors. Maximum energy efficiency, long-term performance, and high-quality installation. Plus, upfront pricing and 0% financing. For roofing, windows, and doors, think of Finley first. FinleyRoofing.com.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Priority Men's Medical Center restores men's love lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Priority Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Priority Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. Take control of your love life. Call now. 404-885-8885.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to Amco.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned Amco near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Proud supporters of iPaw Rescue, a nonprofit founded by legendary business activist Carl Icahn, where 100% of donations go to saving dogs' lives. That's AA MCO.
Time for a personal question. Is your main drain clogged? Oh, I feel for you, friends. Don't stress. Get it cleared for just $89 guaranteed from my friends at Reliable, a company you can trust. Plus, every cleaning comes with a free sewer camera inspection, no hidden fees or extra charges for after hours or weekends. Same-day service is available. Clean out your main drain. Book an appointment at reliableair.com. Click on the Book Now button or call or text 770-594-9969.
Most families get their financial advice in pieces. A financial advisor here, a CPA there, an estate attorney somewhere else. Everyone means well, but nobody's talking to each other, and those gaps can work against you. Trajan Wealth's family office brings wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning together, not as separate conversations, but as one coordinated system built around your life, your goals, and the people who matter most. Ours is a true family office, not one that refers you out because it's convenient. This kind of dedicated collaboration used to require a 7-figure net worth, but here's the game changer. Trajan kicked that door open. Trajan advisors are fiduciaries, always obligated, always honored to act in your best interest. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN 1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
My name is Ramona, and I just won $1,000. Woohoo!
Boom! Boom, says Vinny. Vinny just called our Grand for Groceries winner. Ramona in Marietta won a grand for groceries. What was a bigger treat for her? Winning a grand for groceries or having Vinny Drip call her on her cell phone to say, hey, you won a grand for groceries. By the way, in case you were wondering how Vinny addresses himself when he calls the winners, this is what it sounds like.
Do you listen to the Mark Arum Show by chance? Well, this is Vinny Drip.
Not Vinny Boo Boo, not down south, but Vinny Drip. Well, okay, congrats, Ramona. Your next chance to win a grand for groceries coming up after the noon news here on 95.5 WSB. Congrats, Ramona. Very, very happy for you. All right, this is crazy. We all know someone that thinks they're smarter than they are, and you know they're dumb as a box of rocks or whatever that phrase. Like, I'm not very smart because I just flubbed that line. But the most common lies that people tell to appear smarter than they actually are.
Okay, have you ever said, oh, yeah, I've read that book and probably have no idea what the book is about?
No, I'm pretty honest. If I've read a book, I'll tell you.
But you do a lot of reading, though.
Yeah, back in the day, I did a lot. Yeah, but I could see that. Like, oh, yeah, I was reading.
I read The Odyssey before I saw the movie.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Something simple as just putting glasses on. You know, they're not even prescription, but
That's
they're
hilarious.
glasses.
Glasses do make people look smarter.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Like when Maya puts her glasses on, I'm like, oh, hello, professor.
You got that teacher thing going
Yeah,
on. Right?
a little teacher crush.
Using famous quotes, poems, or even Bible drops in a conversation, which actually drives me crazy.
I don't have a good enough memory to quote anything from the Bible. Movies, I can do movie quotes.
Song lyrics.
Yeah, there you go.
Exaggerating your degree.
No, I barely got a degree. So, my bi-monthly plea, any institution of higher learning that wants to give me an honorary doctorate degree, I will give commencement speeches. I'll be an adjunct professor, whatever you want. I just need an honorary doctorate degree.
How about pretending to speak a foreign language when you really only know the basics?
Yeah, I was functionally fluent in Italian back in the day, but that's gone. I can't say that anymore.
Exaggerating your actual job role, like, you know, saying you're the producer of a show when you're really just a phone screener.
I don't know who would do that. I don't mind that. I don't know if that makes you smarter, but especially if you're single. Like, I remember in my single days, I pumped up what I did at WSB Radio. I was like, there's no chance this girl's listening to AM 750, so I can say whatever I want to her. So I don't know if that's trying to make me smarter or just more attractive to the opposite sex.
Bragging how much you know about wine.
No, I know nothing about wine. I like a Malbec. That's if there's a Malbec on the menu, I don't even know what that is. I don't know, but I like a Malbec.
Kind of dismissing anything that's really popular, whether it's music or TV shows. Like, oh, I would never watch Love Island, but you love Love Island.
But you think that makes people smarter?
Because it's not like this trivial, you know.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, all right.
Or just retweeting news and current events so it looks like you're really into the know.
No, I don't retweet news enough as much as I used to, but all right. People know right away how smart or dumb you are. Don't try to fake it. Don't fake it till you make it, Vinny. In fact...
Do you listen to the Mark Arum Show by chance? Well, this is Vinny Drip.
This is Vinny Drip. Congrats, Ramona. Won a grand for groceries. All right, when we come back, in depth on data centers... Some breaking news from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution this morning, and we're going to have a special guest star in studio. Make sure you're watching the show live. Find us on YouTube or online at WSBradio.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Yacht Rock Review, Prime Time Tour. Step aboard a musical voyage like no other with Yacht Rock Review. This Saturday, Synovus Bank Amphitheater at Chastain Park. Yacht Rock Review takes you on a smooth sailing journey through the nostalgic hits of the late 70s and early 80s. Experience pitch-perfect renditions of iconic classics from artists like Hall & Oates, Steely Dan, Toto, Michael McDonald, and more. On sale now at livenation.com. This is a table setup. Coolers and carry-ins are welcome. Presented by Can.
You know how it goes in Atlanta. Sunshine at lunch, thunderstorms by 4. And if those afternoon storms are finding a way into your living room, call Dr. Roof. Mark Arum here. From roof leaks to full roof replacements, Dr. Roof has you covered with a price match guarantee and up to a 50-year workmanship warranty, the only one in town. Plus, visit drroof.com for coupons and special offers. That's drroof.com. Dr. Roof. Don't wait for the next storm.
Jared Yamamoto here. Remember the date, September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day arrives with exclusive deals and an all-day celebration built for sports fans. The countdown has begun, and all roads lead to Game Day. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states, so that means right here in Georgia, every fan is in on the excitement. One app, every sport, all 50 states. DraftKings Game Day is yours. September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era, and the biggest day in sports history. New DraftKings customers sign up with code AtlantaTalk. Spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code AtlantaTalk. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim, issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Hi there, good morning. It's 11 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. Our top story is your commute. A red alert right now in Vinings. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Not good west side perimeter. That red alert continues. 285 northbound. The inner loop completely shut down at Paces Ferry Road, exit 18, due to a tractor-trailer fire. They are still trying to douse, and that has really gummed up the works all the way back toward Hollowell Parkway. That's your last chance to exit off. You can head east toward the downtown connector. Take that northbound as an alternate, but 285 northbound, the inner loop remains shut down at Paces Ferry Road, exit 18 in Vinings. Sabrina?
All right, thank you so much. And what about your weather for today? Well, it's going to be mostly sunny, hot, not quite as humid, though. Afternoon highs around 95, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming your way in just a couple of minutes. A Gwinnett County woman already serving time in a stabbing is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for a similar crime in a case that had gone cold. The Gwinnett County DA says clues from a 2022 stabbing attack led them to arresting and convicting Carbon Hunt in the stabbing death of a man 3 years earlier. Derek Young survived the 2022 attack and testified at Hunt's malice murder trial involving the death of Ray Anthony. Jurors also saw a police video in which Hunt is heard muttering, "You didn't get away with this murder," after investigators left the room. Prosecutors say the attack happened as Hunt was trying to buy drugs from Anthony. They were able to match Hunt's fingerprints to one found at the scene. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB. In an open letter, the family of the man charged with a fatal weekend stabbing on the Atlanta Beltline apologizes for the attack, which was caught on video. The letter says that Jonathan Hamby has dealt with a severe mental illness for years, but that the court system has ignored the family's pleas for help. The family urging state lawmakers to pass legislation making it easier to establish a safety plan to keep the public safe from the mentally ill. Hamby had dozens of arrests on his record before that fatal stabbing. Nearly 2,000 pounds of marijuana intercepted by authorities before making its way to Atlanta. Drug agents seizing 1,800 pounds of pot after a cross-country delivery lands in Georgia. The shipment comes from Sacramento, California, where marijuana is legal, and landed in Butts County outside of metro Atlanta. Officials say that half the marijuana was going to come to Atlanta, while the other half was headed to Orlando before the seizure. The sheriff's office did not share how much, or how the marijuana was intercepted, I should say, or whether anybody's facing charges. Sheriff Gary Long saying the illegal black market of marijuana is not going anywhere. In case you missed it earlier, Alpharetta moving forward now with a battery-style development to replace North Point Mall and potentially a new NHL hockey team.
Mayor Pro Tem Dan Markle says it's a decision that will impact the city of Alpharetta for years to come.
This is an opportunity that cities all over the country would die for.
But Councilmember Douglas Doritos says the massive $15 billion development plan just doesn't fit the spirit of Alpharetta.
I think this proposal is an overreach being cloaked as progress.
But in the end, after a 5.5-hour meeting, council did approve the battery-style development. But if the NHL decides to pick another city for expansion, project will be dead in the water anyway. Keith Cromwell, 95.5 WSB.
And we are about to be in football season, and a new report this morning published in the British Medical Journal finds at least 25% of ex-NFL players who died between 2016 and 2021 had CTE. That number believed to be on the low end. According to the study's lead author, CTE is a degenerative brain disease that's linked to repeated head trauma and can only be diagnosed after death. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow currently up 38 at 53,455. NASDAQ also in positive territory. So is the S&P. Let's get a check of those roads again. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Red alert continues in Vining, Sabrina, with this tractor-trailer fire cleanup. 285 northbound completely shut down on the inner loop, Paces Ferry Road, exit 18. Bumper-to-bumper conditions all the way back to Hollowell Parkway. Go ahead, take I-20 eastbound toward downtown. You can hop on 75-85 northbound and take 75 north through northwest Atlanta as an alternate. It's also causing a southbound outer loop onlooker delays leading I-75, which in turn is slowing 75 southbound as you leave South Marietta Parkway. Trouble clearing in Forsyth County, 400 southbound between Highway 141 and McFarland Parkway. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Sunny skies and hot today with a high of 95. Lows tonight cooling to the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow, increasing humidity levels, partly cloudy with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible, high 92. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms on Thursday, highs in the upper 80s.
It is 77 degrees in Beaufort, 79 in Tucker. Riverdale has 80 degrees. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No, I'll run this town to be near you.
11:05 on a fairly busy Newsday Tuesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark, Arum, and crew with you till noon. Coming up in just a second, or go in depth on the data center stories here in Georgia. A reminder, your next chance to win a grand for groceries 1 hour from now. I'll give you a keyword right after the noon news. You enter that keyword into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/groceries, and you can win a grand for groceries just like Ramona. Not Ramona DeBro, our coworker, but Ramona and Marietta won a grand for groceries. But coming up in 30 minutes, Deborah, you got another pair of tickets to give away to see whom?
Yeah, Alabama coming to town in October.
October 15th, right?
October 15th.
Oh, by the way,
right?
I'm not going to my high school reunion.
Oh, why not?
Maya's going out of town with her friend.
Oh,
and
you gotta look after
the
the dogs.
The only reason I wanted to go to my high school reunion, I do want to see some friends, but I want to show off that Maya is my wife. That's the.
I get it.
Yeah, that was the whole reason. But so I'm going to be here that weekend. Myra. All right, we've made it, let's see, 2 hours and 6 minutes before we brought up data centers here on the Mark Arum Show. That is a new record. Really interesting story this morning on AJC.com. Joining us live, the author of said piece from the Atlanta Journal and Constitution, Adam Van Brenner. Adam, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Sorry to break into your data center free
listen.
podcast.
I wanted to save it because this is really interesting stuff. Obviously, we've been talking about that massive $20 billion OpenAI project in Effingham County and this explosion of data centers. But it looks like the Georgia coast starting to push back now on data center development.
Yes, it's been percolating for several months now as it really started to take hold there in metro Atlanta, and it was probably only a matter of time before it came here to the coast. And there's been some proactive maneuvers, but certainly the OpenAI announcement and then another one that's going on down in Jessup kind of got everybody up off the pot, as they would say.
Interesting. So, I mean, I was stunned that Effingham County, this massive project there, did it open eyes, for the local legislators there? We need to pump the brakes maybe a little bit after this development.
Yes, I think the big concern is the whole idea of your zoning codes and whether it can be done by right, which basically means if it's in the zoning code and it fits everything, you don't have to have a big public review, and you can pretty much slide it through with very little public discussion, which of course was the big problem in Effingham. It caught most everybody by surprise. And when you have 4 million square feet of data center coming on a 1,400-acre site and there's no public scrutiny of it beforehand, of course that's going to raise some hackles.
So are we just, Adam, are we just waiting to see what the Savannah City Council does with this?
Yes, they will vote on Thursday. The mayor just had a press conference a few minutes ago, and he said that the big thing for them is for the city to be able to decide what they want out of development before development decides that for the city. And in Savannah, under the heavy industrial zoning code, data centers are permitted. So it's one of those things that they want to strengthen that up. And the mayor had mentioned, he didn't mention it this morning, but he had mentioned to me in the past, the whole idea of making it a special use where any kind of proposal would have to go through the planning commission and then the city council. And of course, then it would get a lot more public vetting before it actually becomes a reality.
To me, the differentiation here, Adam, on these data centers is obviously Georgia's been booming for businesses. I don't have to tell you the facility off of I-16 heading to Savannah, but like that plant. That creates thousands of jobs. We don't see that with these data centers. We see, a big building project, and then we don't see 4,000 jobs at these data centers.
Yeah, the data center here is the agreement calls for 400 to start. OpenAI has said they will scale to 1,000, and that's what they've done elsewhere where they've been involved in data centers. So they have a little bit of credibility there. The thing that they're using to really sell this to the community is property tax relief. Effingham yesterday proposed that they would cut their property taxes by 6 mills. Their mills are at 18, so you're looking at a 33%, a third cut in terms of your property taxes, both for schools and for your homestead. So that is kind of what's gotten lost. Unfortunately, I think it's a messaging problem on their side because they kind of backdoored this thing and surprised everybody. And at that point, everybody's like, what? And, the whole pros of it kind of get lost. And I think as this goes on and you see more data centers on the coast, and I think you will, I think you're going to see a shift in that messaging.
Yeah, but I did not know that number, Adam. The $1,000 job number with the OpenAI data. That's a fair. It's not. I thought it was more like 30. Like we have 30 security guards monitoring the cop. That's a significant amount of jobs created.
Yeah, that's significant, and the site where OpenAI is going, the rest of the site, at least at this point, is a lot of logistics companies. And nothing against warehousing. I mean, I live here on the coast. I live close to the Georgia Ports Authority. They've done amazing things for our economy. But there's warehouse parks popping up everywhere. And you want to talk about large developments that employ very few people, that's warehousing. So by putting a data center where you are probably going to have a distribution center, you're probably on the plus side when it comes to jobs.
Speaking of ports, can I ask a favor, Adam?
Sure.
We've reached out to the Ports Authority. How many times, Deborah?
At least 6 times.
At least 6 times to get. I'm fascinated by the ports, and they won't come on the air with us. So you got any warm contacts over there for us?
I can put some feelers out for you, but I'm also pretty well versed on the port. So if you ever need to talk, I'm here.
Done and done. Adam Van Brimmer from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, covering coastal Georgia. Great piece online at ajc.com. If you don't subscribe, folks, you should do it right now. Adam, appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mark. Take care.
There you go. All right, that makes me feel better about the data centers. Scaling up to 1,000 jobs on that OpenAI. I really thought it was going to be like 30 security guards. Remember when Shelley was a nighttime security guard?
And he slept here all the time.
He would sleep here. Like I was picturing 30 Shelleys walking around the OpenAI, but 1,000 jobs is significant. Congressman Rich McCormick, he's been very vocal on the data center story. He is going to join us live Thursday on the Mark Arum Show. All right, 11:12. We have some breaking news. Joining us live in studio, friend, colleague, future star, superstar currently, Chinwe Maponia Cook, joined in studio by Thomas Robinson and L.A. Sunshine.
That is I.
Yeah. Every time I say the word sunshine, I think of Red Fox saying sunshine in Harlem Nights.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
if you're familiar with that,
right. Of course I know exactly.
You don't look like Sunshine.
Turn it into Sunshine.
From the movie. You folks are in here promoting Treacherous 3. Chinwe, we'll start with you because I love you. Tell us about Treacherous 3 and what you have to do with it.
Well, I love you too, Mark, but L.A. Sunshine is an original member of the Treacherous 3. And we're going to talk about that in our play From the Ashes, the musical.
Okay.
And so it's about the birth of hip hop and in the South Bronx and Little Vietnam, as it was called, and the poverty that has stricken and the drugs and the lack of care for the city that spawned the most beautiful art form ever known to man.
Thomas, you're the writer. How did this come to play form?
Ooh, how did it come to play form? I'm driving up to Chicago one day, and I accessed YouTube, heard some of the early recordings, and I just thought, man, this is a wonderful story. So I started diving into it, doing the research, and it became more profound the more I got into it. The sociological conditions that existed at the time that these youth decided to create their own space for expression, for belonging, and then how it rose through their competitive spirit, you know what I mean, and discipline and dedication to an art form that they were developing. I said, man, I got to try to write this.
Is your background as a playwright? Is that your go-to form of
no,
creativity?
It is not. I've always been a writer. I'm an attorney by trade. And so I've always
cut out. You got to let us know before you come in, counselor. You can't surprise me. I'm sorry.
But so about 2012, I hit a burnout stage, and a good friend of mine who was also an attorney, Ted Johnson, started writing and producing theater, and he brought me to the Atlanta Black Theater Festival, and then I started wanting to write and produce theater, and this was my third or fourth project.
I just love that that is the outlet, that this is on stage. And so I would imagine, I'm vaguely familiar with the hip hop culture. I got a little bit of knowledge there, but it's not just the music, right? It's the graffiti art. There's so many aspects to the culture. Is that something we're gonna see and talk about, LA Sunshine?
You're gonna see a little bit of everything. You're
Yeah.
gonna see the beginning of hip hop's inception. What most people recognize as hip hop, or what it has come to be known as, is something. What we're going to do is going to precede that. All of the hip hop known, Sugar Hill Gang. You know, when you reference hip hop, most people's first recollection, if they even able to go that far, is the Sugar Hill Gang doing hip hop.
Yeah,
See?
absolutely. Now, I don't want to give any spoilers for the performance.
You
but,
probably can't.
Well, all right, we'll see. I'm going to try here. I'm holding up a fake rendition of a block party flyer that has become a huge part of hip hop history.
Give me some.
Are we gonna see?
That's where we're going to. From the
Come on,
Nice.
Come on now.
Nice.
Come on now.
A few jams.
Yeah. Now,
different
I was
jams.
6, so I did not attend the block party, but I know its historical influence. You know, as the what it's great to me is because you're going back, 50 some odd years to the origin of this.
Exactly.
We lived this, right? We don't have this for. Beethoven threw a block party, and that's what kicked off. So this is obviously still a huge part of the culture, and it's living history.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a living history, and it's going to be exemplary to what hip hop's inception was like.
Yeah.
Starting from 1973, moving to the early 80s, which again precedes most people's hip hop acumen.
Yeah.
They're just not familiar with that. So what we're going to be doing is a lot of stuff that we're going to be reenacting. A lot of things that took place prior to it becoming the global dominant genre of music that it is
All right,
now.
so I don't want to throw shade, but your opinions on the state of hip hop in 2026?
No comment.
Counselor?
I don't want to throw shade either.
So
Is that a leading question? Am I harassing the witness?
I went from a 15-year-old kid in Springfield, Massachusetts, that embraced these tapes that were coming out of New York.
The mixtapes.
Yeah. To a father of 5 that refused to let my children listen to hip hop.
Really?
To someone who is one of its greatest enthusiasts and appreciators of what it is. And it was created as an expression of our youth. It continues to be an expression of our youth. We may not like what our youth are expressing, but we really need to address it, and we need to also pull their coat on its inner essence and its beauty. It was founded on 4 principles: peace, love, unity, and having fun. The participants in that generation called each other kings and queens. And so while they struggled through the period of gang violence and drugs and so forth, as we do today, they had a space that was a little different for hip-hop than people see it as today. One of the beauties of my experience with this play is I've been able to connect some of the younger generation of artists with the original generation of artists like L.A. Sunshine and Charlie Chase.
That should be taught in schools.
It really should.
It really should. Just to recap, growing up in Springfield, up the horrific strip of pavement that is I-91. We'll get into that later. But my parents actually embraced it because they recognized the samples from music that they listened to. So my mom would be like, what? It's interesting. All right, Chinwe, tell us where we can buy tickets, where this is being shown, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
So this Thursday, it's in a couple of days, Thursday through Sunday at the Seven Stages Theater in Little 5 Points. That's off Moreland Avenue, Euclid Avenue, right in that area, Ragarama, all those little nestled in places. You can get tickets at Eventbrite. You can follow us at From the Ashes 1973 on Instagram to get more information, see the cast, just get more background information. There's also an after party on Saturday night. That information is on Eventbrite as well.
You are so good at that.
Make sure that you go and get your tickets because it's going to be a sold out show, y'all. I know it's 4 days, but they're going to come and go. So you want to get it first.
I'll be on the list for the after party on Saturday.
Absolutely.
You can come meet some of the originators.
Yeah.
I would love to. Yeah, I mean, this Chinwe,
bring your flyer. You're going to get
this. This is me for sure. So great to see you. Best of luck.
Too.
Congratulations. And I'll post all this info on my
time,
social
man.
media, and
Appreciate
I'll retweet or repost whatever Chinwe does. Great stuff, friends. 11:19 on the Mark Arum Show. We're going to come back, update our top local stories right now. Got to check the ride around town. Let's say hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Not good West Side Perimeter. Red alert continues. 285 northbound. The inner loop is completely shut down at Paces Ferry Road, exit 18, due to a tractor trailer that's been on fire. They got the fire doused. Lots of cleanup to do, though, so 285 northbound is going to remain shut down for now. Delays all the way back to Hollowell Parkway. You can either exit off at I-20 or Hollowell Parkway, take either of those east toward the downtown connector, get on 75-85 north, and then take 75 north through northwest Atlanta. That is one way you can avoid this red alert. Elsewhere in Forsyth County, trouble's been clearing out of the left lane, 400 southbound, below Highway 141. That's still causing a little bit of a slowdown as you head toward Alpharetta. Traffic brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Save on snack time favorites at Whole Foods Market. Prime members get 30% off select Stonyfield organic yogurt, drinkables, and kid pouches and tubes through September 1st while supplies last. Shop in store or online. Terms apply. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Get the WSB radio app.
This story is breaking right now.
Get notifications from your source for news.
If you have the WSB radio app, then you saw the breaking news.
Get the WSB radio app.
Don't miss a thing with the WSB app.
Download it from the App Store today.
A roof is more than just the shingles you see. It's the protection you don't. Hi, I'm Megan with Southern Exteriors. We're talking about high-grade underlayment, ice and water shields, and a solid deck, all sourced from the same manufacturer. Since 1999, Southern Exteriors have been building roofs that protect what matters most. Take 10% off your next roofing project. For quality you can see and integrity you can trust, call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. That's southernexteriors.co.
You finally got that dream home. Then a pipe burst. Now you're draining your savings to drain the basement, and your other bills keep flooding in. But with Home Tap, you could tap into your home equity to cover renovations, debt, or whatever comes next. And unlike other home equity products, a Home Tap home equity investment has no monthly payments or impact on your mortgage rate. So consider using what you've already built. After all, it's your home. Tap into it. See how much you could get at HomeTap.com.
Summer's a time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or your tan. Hey guys, it's Mark Arum here. I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. There's absolutely no one in hair restoration I trust more than Advanced Hair. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair summer sales event on for a limited time, so get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 470-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With advanced hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and take advantage of their best offer ever. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
When it comes to public safety, Georgia has a voice in Washington. Congressman Mike Collins. Collins wrote the Laken-Riley Act, signed into law by President Trump, requiring federal detention of illegal immigrants charged with serious crimes. Collins wrote the Trank Act, signed into law by President Biden, cracking down on fentanyl-laced tranquilizers. 2 laws, 2 presidents, 1 priority: protecting Georgia families. Learn more. Visit collins.house.gov. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
You don't need to tell me budgets are tight. Economic uncertainty, global politics, AI taking jobs we used to think were safe. Nobody wants to spend money they don't have to. But you've got to do something nice for your family, don't you? A cookie for the dog, nice dinner for you and your better half. Wouldn't it be nice to do something special for the house you love without breaking the bank just to do it? At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A new garage door can completely transform the look of your property. For way less than a major renovation or landscaping project, modern designs, whisper quiet, connects with your phone and your fancy new car, a few $1,000s can literally change the appearance of your whole house. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come show you the difference we can make. And that part won't cost you a dime.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
At Choice Men's Health, patients are experiencing positive results for treatment of ED and performance issues in the bedroom. Here's Bill's story.
I'm a 60-year-old man who moved to the area recently. I suffer from diabetes and I'm taking heart medication. Unfortunately, one of the symptoms I've experienced for the past 5 years is ED, which has had a major impact on the intimacy my wife and I have always enjoyed. I've tried all the pills, and like a lot of people with diabetes, they just weren't effective. My wife heard a commercial on this radio station, and she made an appointment for me with Choice Men's Health. I was blown away by how effective it was. My marriage has never been better. I truly believe it made all the difference. I'm grateful for my wife for making the appointment, and I highly recommend you go see Choice Men's Health and get back in the game.
Call Choice Men's Health at 404-400-1170. They guarantee results in the first visit, or the exam is free. Call for your appointment today. Choice Men's Health, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Better prices, better views. Oh, hey, Georgia homeowners, I didn't see you there. It's Ray, founder of Window Comfort, and I got a message for you today. You have about 60 days. Yep, that's it. Before long, Georgia mornings get colder, your furnace starts running, heating bills start climbing, and everyone who waited until the last minute starts calling window companies. Don't be one of them. The truth is, your windows are either going to keep the heat inside, or they're going to let your hard-earned money drift right out. Most homeowners don't realize how much comfort and money they lose through old, inefficient windows. That's why we built Window Comfort differently. We go factory direct, no franchise fees, no bloated markups, and right now we're running buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus free installation and no payments for a full year. So don't delay. Go to windowcomfort.com and get your no pressure estimate today.
Better prices, better views. Window Comfort, meant just for you. Window Comfort.
11:26 on the Mark Arum Show. 25 years ago today, has it been that long? Aaliyah was killed in a plane crash in the Bahamas at the age of 22. Gosh, she was only 22. That was on this date back in 2001. All right, when we come back after news, weather, and traffic, Deborah's got Alabama tickets to give away. We're going to update her top local stories. And why are people misbehaving on airplanes so much these days? Correspondent Rory O'Neill will try to offer an explanation for us there. Again, social media is active through the broadcast at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio. That picture of Chinwei and her castmates, I'm going to post that on my Instagram page at Mark Arum, MarkArum.
There comes a moment when you look at your aging parents and think, I just want them safe. I want them at home, and I just want them cared for. Maybe your mom wants to stay in the house she lived in for 40 years. Maybe dad just isn't ready to leave his garden, but you know they can't do it alone anymore. It's Belinda Skelton. I recommend Atlanta-based Four Seasons Home Care. They specialize in helping your loved ones age in place in the comfort and dignity of their own homes. With caregivers you can actually trust, every single caregiver is thoroughly background checked and carefully vetted, because Four Seasons knows when someone steps into your parents' home, they're stepping into your family. Don't settle for just anyone when it comes to the people you love most. Do what I did when my parents needed help. Choose trusted, compassionate home care. Choose Four Seasons Home Care. Google and then call Four Seasons Home Care today.
When Keisha Lance Bottoms got elected, she said,
"We must be good stewards of your tax dollars."
Just 30 days later,
taxpayers covered the cost of a first-class ticket for Mayor Bottoms' husband to fly to the Super Bowl
on her taxpayer-funded credit card.
Atlanta taxpayers shelled out more than $2,600.
Worse,
more than $11,600 in luxury chauffeured car service in just her first 5 months in office.
And taxpayers covered this tab.
The State Ethics Commission has fined Keisha Lance Bottoms.
She accepted over $110,000 in contributions that exceeded legal limits,
violating campaign finance laws.
The commission's chairman declared
it's an egregious violation of the act.
And the verdict from a former prosecutor?
It smells bad. What don't you get about the rules and regulations? If Mayor Bottoms wants her legacy to be too greedy to care, they're off to a great start.
Keisha Lance Bottoms. She's out for herself, not Georgia.
Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
If you've been thinking about selling your home this year, now is the time. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. When you receive a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. One of our clients, BR, said, Mark Spain Real Estate sold my home within 30 days. I definitely recommend them to my friends and family. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. and find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Rocco's European Garage, your dealership alternative. Our top local story is your drive. A truck fire causing a red alert in Vinings. Let's go now to the 24-hour traffic center and Alex Williams.
Yeah, what a mess on that west side perimeter, Sabrina. 285 northbound. The inner loop has been shut down at exit 18 Paces Ferry Road for a truck fire cleanup. As I speak, they're setting up the cones. Looks like they're going to open that left lane, but it's going to stay very slow back toward I-20. 75-85 northbound is one of your alternates, and we'll keep watching this and have more updates. Sabrina?
All right, thanks, Alex. So your weather for today, it's going to be sunny and warm. Highs around 95. The good news, though, low humidity. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta Radio's only most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in about 2 minutes. The family of the suspect charged in the deadly stabbing in broad daylight on the Atlanta Beltline is speaking out today, faulting a broken system.
The lengthy statement from the family of 54-year-old Jonathan Hamby directly apologizes to loved ones of 29-year-old Ramon Harris. Harris and Hamby reportedly got into an argument on an extremely busy section of the Beltline not far from Pont City Market. That's when Atlanta police say Hamby stabbed Harris in the neck, killing him. Hamby's family says the man has a severe mental illness, causing him to think he's under constant attack. The family argues Hamby, who has over 30 previous arrests, shouldn't have ever been allowed on the streets, saying this is part of a broader systemic failure. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
A cold case from 2019 is now closed after a woman's found guilty of murder in Gwinnett County. The woman was already in jail for stabbing a man in 2022. Now, Carmen Marie Hunt is convicted of malice murder and felony murder for the stabbing death of Ray Anthony Neal back in 2019. Police have been investigating the case over the last 7 years. 3 years later, she stabbed Derek Gray Young. Investigators were able to match her fingerprints with prints found at the scene of Neal's death. Hunt now has a life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole. The trade war between the U.S. and Canada is heating up. President Trump saying tariffs on imports of cars, trucks, and automobile parts from Canada will increase to 50% starting January 1st, 2027, after talks between the two countries broke down. Canada planning to impose tariffs in response on more than 700 U.S. goods, including steel and appliances, as this trade war escalates, and that would take effect, they say, on September 8th. GLP-1 medications could be useful in treating addiction.
The popular class of medication has turned out to have several unexpected positive side effects. Now, new research shows the drugs proven effective in treating obesity and diabetes could also help addicts. GLP-1 medications include the brand names Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, and Zepbound. As more Americans say they've tried these drugs, researchers are learning more about their other uses. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
All right, so what do you think are the most popular dog breeds this year? Well, according to the pet sitter and service provider Rover, non-designer mixed breeds once again come in at number 1 in the rankings, followed by Labrador Retrievers, Golden Retrievers, Golden Doodles, and German Shepherds to round out the top 5. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow currently at 41 at 53,458. NASDAQ is also in positive territory, up right now more than 0.5%. The S&P is also in the green. All right, Alex Williams, let's go back to you now. And how are we doing on the roads?
Well, as we were predicting, Sabrina, they did just open that left lane, so no longer a red alert. I would still treat it as one, though. The far left lane is open, 285 northbound, the Interloop Paces Ferry Road, exit 18, but that's not going to help out that ride. It is almost jammed back to I-20. You can take 20 eastbound toward the downtown connector. A lot of folks doing that. Then hop on 75, 85 north, and then take 75 north through northwest Atlanta as an alternate. It's also causing 285 southbound outer loop onlooker delays, leaving I-75 in the Truist Park region. Elsewhere, DOT reporting a new crash. I'm looking for it now, 75, 85 northbound, north of Langford Parkway before University Avenue in a left lane. And we're still a little slow out of Forsyth County on 400 southbound, leaving Highway 141 due to some earlier trouble that's cleared out of the roadway before McFarland Parkway. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Mostly sunny and dry today with a high of 95. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with increasing humidity levels and an isolated rain shower possible, high 92. Mostly cloudy on Thursday with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms.
It is 80 degrees in Carrollton, 79 in Commerce. Covington, you have 81 degrees. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Grocery prices are going up.
But we've got the solution.
Really going to help, and thank you, WSB.
WSB's Grand for Groceries.
Your chance to win $1,000 5 times a day.
Enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB Radio app.
Great!
A grand for groceries. Your next chance to win is coming up at 12. It pays to get your news from 95.5 WSB.
This fall, we will begin intense discussions with the European Union.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney still to come. We'll update the tariff battle. Deborah's got Alabama tickets to give away. And why are folks misbehaving on airplanes? All of that straight ahead on the Mark Arum Show.
Cool-Ray is celebrating 60 years of bringing home comfort to Atlanta, and they're making this month unforgettable. Right now, you can upgrade your home comfort with a new Carrier cooling system starting at just $60 a month. The Georgia heat is here, and if your AC struggled last summer or you're worried about rising repair costs, now is the time to replace. For 60 years, Atlanta homeowners have trusted Cool-Ray to keep their homes comfortable. To set an appointment today, simply go to Coolray.com. Cool-Ray Carrier. Turn to the experts.
I'm Ben. As a licensed Kroger pharmacist, I'm committed to helping you choose the right vaccines for you and your family. Whether you have questions about the flu, RSV, or COVID vaccines, our team is ready to go above and beyond for you when it comes to providing personalized care and seasonal vaccine education. No appointment needed. At Kroger, we're here to look out for you. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site or pharmacy for details.
Afternoon thunderstorms can turn a small roof problem into a big mess fast. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. Water spots, dripping ceilings, missing shingles. That's your roof telling you it's time to call Dr. Roof. Whether you need a brand new roof or just a repair, Dr. Roof offers a price match guarantee and up to a 50-year workmanship warranty, the only one in town. Go to drroof.com right now for coupons. Dr. Roof, protect your home before the clouds roll in.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Priority Men's Medical Center restores men's love lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Priority Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Priority Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. Take control of your love life. Call now. 404-885-8885.
As Georgia grows, more data centers are coming here to do business. Georgia Power says residential customers are protected because large load customers must pay their full share for infrastructure costs. Plus, base rates are frozen through 2028 with a projected annual savings after that. Learn more at georgiapower.com/data centers.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2, ox, a camel, and a kangaroo.
11:38 on the Mark Arum Show. A reminder, in less than 30 minutes, another chance for you to win $1,000 for groceries here on 95.5 WSB, just like Ramona did in the 10 o'clock hour. Stick around. I'm going to give you a keyword. You enter the keyword into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/groceries, and you can win $1,000 for gas just listening for 95.5 WSB. But you don't have to wait 30 minutes to win. What do we have now, Deborah?
Pair of tickets to see Alabama at Gas South Arena on October 15th.
All right, Darius is apparently busy eating Edie's banana pudding cake that she brought in for Vinny's birthday. So David's going to screen your call. We'll do the 8th caller to 404-872-0750. Caller number 8 to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Alabama, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. Joining us now on the program, correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, it seems like I can't get on social media without seeing a video of people fighting on a plane or arguing in the terminal. It's crazy out there. What is going on with people's manners when it comes to flying in the 21st century?
Are you accusing me of being that guy?
Well, I know you're more of a bus guy than a plane guy, but I assume you behave well on the bus.
I'm the guy, right? I'm the guy taking the video of what's happening on the planes. You know, the Points guy is out with a new survey asking Americans about airplane etiquette, and 42% of Americans say passenger behavior has gotten worse over the past 5 years. Honestly, the 58% who said it hasn't must be the ones causing the trouble because it's not as pleasurable to be flying those friendly skies these days, either in the airport or once you get on the plane. Noise is actually the biggest complaint. Americans complaining about loud conversations or passengers who listen to music and play movies on their devices without headphones.
Oh, that's annoying.
Well, there you go. Then you agree with most in the survey.
Yeah.
The other issue, and then there's the age-old issue. Can you recline your seat or not? And even the polls shows how divided we are. 51% said yes, it is acceptable to recline your seat in economy, but only if you check behind you first.
Oh, ask permission. I am anti-recline. I don't recline lest I cause discomfort for the person behind me. But when someone reclines in front of me, I'm not a happy camper, especially if they don't ask prior.
Well, right. Well, 6'6" me, it's physically impossible most of the time for the person in front of me to recline because my knees are already in the back of that seat. So there's just nowhere for that seat to go. But that's still a dividing issue out there. And then they're also looking at, as the planes get better, as Starlink internet satellite service is installed on more and more planes, that's going to give more and more passengers the ability to do live video calls, FaceTiming people or video chats with people, in-person Teams calls or face-to-face Teams calls from the air. And do you want that happening while you fly? 40% said airlines should ban phone or video calls during flights. A third, though, said they should not.
Exit row Rory O'Neill joining us here on the Mark Arum Show, talking about air travel in 2026. You mentioned the misbehavior in the terminals as well. And when you said that, I'm like, yeah, I've seen those videos too where people get into fistfights while waiting out the gate trying to, board the plane.
Oh, right. I mean, it's made the best viral videos of people, either shouting at the poor gate attendant or picking up and throwing their computers and banging their keyboards, trying to get on that plane or, with lame excuses as to why they weren't at the gate 20 minutes before the doors closed. But yeah, a lot of that bad behavior has been feeding the internet. But, passenger behavior on the plane is no great shakes either, with, a lot of people just getting fed up with the whole experience.
Yeah, and I'm, just playing devil's advocate. Has behavior always been this bad, but we didn't have cell phones to record the video, and now we're just shining a light on bad behavior?
Yeah, I think that's it. By the way, we also heard from the transportation secretary a few months ago. Remember, he was asking for more decorum, people to arrive at the airport better dressed, maybe not in your pajamas and your Crocs. Maybe you put on some actual clothing, take a shower, comb your hair before you go and get on a plane. Now, look, if you're traveling with a 6-year-old, sure, all those rules go out the window. But for those of us who are adults out there, we can act like it.
Yeah, act like an adult. Great advice from Rory O'Neill. Rory, fascinating stuff as always. Have a great day, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
Deborah, I think I know the answer to this. Are you a seat recliner on a plane or no?
Only if it's like an international flight.
Yeah.
But no, usually not.
I don't.
I'm so short.
Yeah.
Like it's fine.
But I if someone asks me, hey, do you mind if I recline? Of course I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I always say
when they
yes.
don't ask, like the last time, this lady, like we weren't even 100 feet off the ground. And she's like, boom, all the way back. I was like, whoa, sister, chill.
The worst is if you have like long hair like mine and they flip it over the seat.
Oh, yeah.
And it covers your screen or whatever. I'm like, and then you got to sit there and be like, hey, and they get mad.
Yeah, just don't, yeah. Anyway, people just don't know how to behave. Or is it always been this way, but now we just catch it on our cell phone videos. All right, NFL season's just around the corner. I think Michael Penix Jr. has been cleared to return to practice. There's your Falcons update. This is the NFL story I was not expecting. Should not impact your fantasy football drafts. In the NFL, the owner of the San Francisco 49ers has been arrested, dun, 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 in a prostitution sting in Ohio. Trevor Alt with details.
The billionaire owner of the San Francisco 49ers arrested in a prostitution sting at an Ohio trailer park. Court records say Jed York was taken into custody in East Palestine Sunday at 9:35 a.m., with authorities saying he responded to an ad placed by an undercover agent on a prostitution website arranging sexual activity for $140. Police say York agreed to meet up at that trailer park and was arrested there with the phone he allegedly used to respond to the ad.
All right, lot to unpack. Guy owns he's not the equipment guy. He's not the long snapper. He's not the hot dog salesman. He owns the San Francisco 49ers, which is worth, I don't know, $6 to $10 billion. Goes on a website, and I don't know if it's $140 is a good deal or not. David, is that the going rate? At a trailer park in East Palestine, Ohio. Isn't where they had the train derailment?
Why is he out in Ohio?
What's he It reminds me of the Robert Kraft story. You remember the New England Patriots owner? And maybe it's apples to oranges, but at least Kraft went to like a business front, a storefront, the Apple Blossom Spa or whatever, and got busted. Dude went online. If you're a billionaire, don't you have an assistant? Like you have your normal assistant, executive assistant to the, like Arthur Blank, I'm sure has an executive assistant. But maybe if you want to do stuff that you don't want your you have a little side assistant.
And a burner phone.
Have them go online and then a trailer park in Ohio.
Is this what happens when you have too much money?
Start doing stuff.
But you have. No, I'm not even. I don't want to say anything I'll regret. But why? Why? There not other options.
Said you have too much money. You got to see what you can get away with.
Mm-hmm.
But why do you have to go to Ohio?
Because he probably doesn't know anybody in Ohio.
You know what?
Maybe he wanted to see
the grid.
Lake America.
I'm going to create a backstory. This is totally fictional. He's with his wife visiting his in-laws. They live in Ohio. Why else would he be in Ohio? And he's like, I got to get out of this freaking house. The in-laws are driving me crazy. And he's like, let me just, what, all right, let me go online and see what, and he gets an ad, a pop-up ad for this person that works at a trailer park in Ohio. And he's like, honey, this big NFL trade talk, I got to go.
He was scouting someone from the Browns?
What do you think the Vice officer that made this bust thought when they identified him? They're like, wait, you do what? You're the owner of the what? Who shot who in the what now?
I bet he wasn't a 49ers fan, too, and
yeah,
there's some
he's a
secret
Bengals
love
fan.
there, yeah.
He's a Bengals fan. I do want more information on that. Suitable for radio. It's a family-friendly show. Reminder, it's a family-friendly show, Alex Williams.
Always.
Thank you, buddy.
And not so friendly on the west side perimeter, Mark. 285 northbound, the inner loop, basically a parking lot, leaving I-20 up to where they have only the far left lane open for this truck fire cleanup at Paces Ferry Road, exit 18 in Bindings. Don't even try the inner loop on that west side. If you're coming over from the west side of town, take 20 east toward the downtown connector. You can take 75, 85 north as an alternate to get you around that and up into northwest Atlanta. If you're heading southbound, 285 south, you're seeing onlooker delays slowing you, leaving I-75 in Truist Park, heading down into Smyrna. And on Georgia 400 southbound, that trouble finally cleared between Highway 141 and McFarland Parkway. Delays have improved there. Left lane construction, 316 westbound in Gwinnett County, getting past Collins Hill Road. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Reliable Heating and Air warns if some rooms of your home are warmer than others, your AC may not be distributing air properly. Visit reliableair.com today. From the Loud Security Systems Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Don't be late because you crowdsourced your commute with a navigation app.
Heads up crash involving several vehicles.
Depend on us
To make sure you get where you need to be on time.
Alternates needed this morning between Buford and Swanee.
Local and dependable traffic 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Some of the alternates to get you around this include Memorial Drive and East Ponce.
WSB Triple Team
A car
Traffic.
has flipped over 20 westbound.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 25% upfront bonus? And are they promising you up to 9% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They aren't. That's up to $25,000 upfront or up to $9,000 per year on $100,000, guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. DBA in most states has Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
You don't need to tell me budgets are tight. Economic uncertainty, global politics, AI taking jobs we used to think were safe. Nobody wants to spend money they don't have to. But you've got to do something nice for your family, don't you? A cookie for the dog, nice dinner for you and your better half. Wouldn't it be nice to do something special for the house you love without breaking the bank just to do it? At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A new garage door can completely transform the look of your property. For way less than a major renovation or landscaping project, modern designs, whisper quiet, connects with your phone and your fancy new car, a few $1,000s can literally change the appearance of your whole house. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come show you the difference we can make. And that part won't cost you a dime.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
This kitchen is insane. New counters, new floors. Who did this?
My house.
Your house did your kitchen?
Yep. I used a HomeTap home equity investment to get cash from the equity I already had, with no monthly payments or impact on my mortgage rate.
So your home paid for itself. That's genius.
Huh. I guess I am a genius.
All right. Easy there.
HomeTap lets you turn your home equity into cash with no monthly payments. It's your home. Tap into it. See how much you could get at HomeTap.com.
Please, for all that is holy, don't wait until your AC completely kicks the bucket in the middle of an Atlanta heat wave. Oof, it's Mark Arum back from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. Check this out. Get any size AC, just $69.99 a month with 0 down. Plus, with the Reliable's Comfort Club, feature repairs, maintenance, even filters included. No additional charge for life. Don't wait. Get your free consultation right now at ReliableAir.com, online at ReliableAir.com.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
$11:54 on the Mark Arum Show. Happy 74th birthday, Jeff Downs, keyboardist for Asia. It's their heat of the moment. Speaking of heat, up to 83 degrees in Midtown. I believe Christina has a high of the mid-90s today. Her full 5-day forecast. Speaking of heat, oceans warmer than ever, according to scientists, Deborah.
The world's ocean temperatures reached 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the highest recorded ever. And 70 doesn't seem hot, but if you've been to the ocean, you know it's pretty cool when you get in the water. So 70 degrees.
In Maine, it's freezing.
Right.
So if it's 55 in Maine, it means it's got to be 85 somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. So 70 degrees, your average temp. It's highest ever recorded.
Not good. Especially if you like crab and lobster and all that good stuff. You need that cold water there. All right, I can't get over this 49ers football owner story. I did a little investigation there, Vinny, during the break. So he is from Ohio. That's why he was in Ohio. He was born and raised in Youngstown. Went to Notre Dame. Graduated the degree in finance and history. A little more clarification. He and his wife divorced in May. So he's now single, ready to mingle, and maybe he's taking it badly, and he's just looking for comfort. Maybe he just wanted someone to hold him.
I feel like those millionaire circles, you can find better comfort.
You would think. And he's young. He's not that old. I don't know. He's 46, younger than me. He also owns Leeds United Football Club. That's in the Premier League. Is that a good team, Deborah? Yeah? All right. Anyway, we're gonna have the whole investigatory team. Yeah, let's get Justin Gray again. What did we assign him to do the other day? Something. I'm just willy-nilly handing out assignments for people that don't work for me.
Now you know, because of the Mark Arum Show.
He didn't name specific countries. He also didn't give a timeline for
countries, entities to comply with this pressure. He was asked why not impose sanctions today, and Bessent said, well, we are giving everyone the opportunity to remedy bad behavior.
That's White House correspondent from ABC, Karen Travers, in depth on the D-Day announcement, or as they dub it, Operation Outcast, on what we're going to do financially to pressure Iran. Now you know.
Canada is the biggest buyer of U.S. exports. This is important to understand. When they apply tariffs, it hits American companies.
Great stuff there from Josh Wingrove from Bloomberg, talking about the trade war between the United States and Canada. The big exclusive news story there from Bloomberg is that Howard Lutnick apparently came in at the last second and ixnayed the deal between the United States and Canada. Now you know.
The National Association of Realtors now puts the age of the first-time home buyer at 40. And there's several reasons for that. Difficult saving for a down payment, life milestones, younger adults, or delayed marriage, and other things that usually lead to buying a house. And more importantly, affordability.
Great stuff, as always, with Scott Slade. The American dream has been tied to home ownership. Unfortunately, homes are becoming less and less affordable. Now you know, because of the Mark Arum Show.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Arum star of the show?
Edie brought in a banana pudding cake for Vinny Drip's birthday.
Darius loves it.
Darius is going for his third slice. Justin Obi coming to work at noon. He'll get a star of the show for getting out of bed early. I love that. Let's see. Josh Wingrove, really good stuff from News Nation. Chinwe Maponia Cook, bringing in her cast members from the Ashes. Starts Thursday, I believe. I'll post all the information you need online at social media. Big congrats to Lori of Lawrenceville, by the way. She won our Alabama tickets. Do not go anywhere. Next chance to win a grand for groceries coming up after the noon news. I will be active on social media before and after my nap at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Tuesday, Atlanta.
I'll be with him. I know you will. On that midnight train to Georgia. Leaving on that midnight train.
WSB